You are back with Merlin, Shigs, and Mouth for another episode of the Beers on Me podcast. This is episode 13, and we have Choo Choo in the room with us for this episode. What is up, fellas?
We found him.
So welcome back. This episode, we're going to give you all kinds of fun stuff. We put out some stuff on social media, so we're going to give you a movie review because I watched a movie that I think is worth talking about, and a show review. So we'll do that. We'll give you a movie show, and then we're going to cover the Testicles movies. Yes. So your movies, changing one word with the word testicles.
I was going to say, are we just watching Game of Thrones? Is that what's going on?
I think so. Or
reviewing all the testicles?
Or we're watching, what is that? The
bunch of Ron Jeremy movies.
The Gladiator show or whatever. Like, no, like that one had a ton of sex in it. The one with the Gladiator dude.
I don't know.
Oh God, I can't remember now. It's been off for a while, so like because it ended the entire series. So I just completely forgot.
Yeah, I don't know either.
Anyway, so yeah, we're gonna do that, and then we're gonna talk the 90s. You guys wanted to hear about the 90s, so we've got some lists, some conversation pieces, and we're just gonna kind of go with the 90s.
Yeah, I mean, low key, I was really hoping it was gonna be 80s.
Yeah,
but it's fine. We'll get there. Yeah. 90s still kicked ass too, so.
It was all right.
Well, we'll get there.
I mean, I was there for it.
Yeah, along with the previous 3 decades.
I was going to say, the only one that was like an adult in the 90s. Well, no, I can't say that.
Well, I was an adult. I was an adult in the 90s.
In the beginning of the 90s. I went the full gambit in the 90s, man. I went from like almost teenager. So what is that? Preteen. And then through teenage. And then I think I hit adulthood right there all in the same decade. Craziness, man. It's just insane.
Yeah, it's I don't even know what I'm
Stay with us.
Just spacing out. Yeah. You know.
Shiggity's time traveling on.
I was going to say, maybe we shouldn't have the door open when we get this. You're just kind of staring outside at the trees.
It's that Jägermeister. Move that Jägermeister.
I was just trying to think of something to make fun of Merlin or Chris for, so I decided not to.
How nice. Such a good friend.
That's all right. You were in that same era. That's why you can't say nothing.
I know.
It was like you had a little mini stroke, though.
But you still, to your credit, to your credit, hold on. You still look like you did in the 90s.
That's true. I do have, other than I'm a bit more bald than I was in the 90s. But other than that, I get my baby face. It's coming out, and it's good to have.
See, look at that. I was going to talk shit, and I ended up giving him a compliment. That's how I do, man. It's kind of friend I am.
That's right.
You guys need a second alone or something?
You're really swell.
Oh,
you guys want to hump it out or something?
No, I mean, not on air, but maybe later.
All right.
Maybe
That's a different kind of show.
Well, anyway.
That's the after-hours show.
After-hours. Yeah. Coming soon, kids. Coming soon.
Not for the kids. Anyway.
Yeah, most certainly not.
All right, so...
Phrasing.
I believe
Wait, are we still doing that?
Jeez.
Okay.
I believe this episode, the beer's on me. So let's go ahead and we'll get to that beer. For this episode, we have brought you the New Belgium's 30th Anniversary Amber IPA called the Wild Ride.
Wild Ride.
Ride. It's a festive can. Very Colorado looking.
It is, yeah, with the mountains in the background. And
they incorporated the flag into as a sunrise. You see, that's cute.
And this is a special release too, so it's not just an anniversary; it's an actual special release. Something might just be a one-off for this year. You might never see it again.
Who knows?
I don't know.
All right,
we're gonna find out.
Looks like it's Born to Be Wild, though. If you know what I'm saying,
let's crack them. Let's see what this looks like.
Pretty red can.
And I don't think I've ever seen an amber IPA before. Like, this is a different mix.
If I'm being honest, it looks like a can or a cup of pee with the colored. I mean, that's someone who's...
You need to drink more water.
Yeah. Super dehydrated.
I mean,
you got something wrong.
Maybe that's just my pee. I don't know. Maybe...
That's a golden...
I don't know.
It's got golden caramel colored. It's got a white, not a whole lot of frothy head, as they call it in beer terminology, the foam. But there's not a lot of it at all.
Well, I mean...
It's pretty good.
Looking at your cup and my cup, there's a lot of fucking head on there. Well, so I don't know what mouth did here.
I poured it straight in just to get a good look at it to see what it would do.
So if you give it a hard pour at a 90, then it'll give you a nice big kind of off-white colored.
That's a pretty stout head there.
Yeah. Mine, not so much, but I did the 45.
The color is kind of amberish, more golden on the amber scale, I would say.
Yeah, I mean, that's probably why they call it an Amber IPA, but, well, I mean, really, what do I know?
People can call things all kinds of stuff.
I'm just here to drink. You're the professional, so, I mean...
It doesn't make it so.
Well,
I would say, I mean, it's definitely... It's not overly hoppy, but it is hoppy. And it's got a little of the bitter hop flavor on the back.
It's not bad, though.
No, it's not. It's not overbearing.
Yeah, it's not...
It tastes more like an IPA than it does an amber, in my opinion.
I'd agree.
It's good.
But it's not super strong. It doesn't really list the IBUs on the damn thing.
No?
Nah.
So
I'm looking at it.
If you're an IBU looker, then...
No, but I'd put it in the 80 range.
Yeah, that's probably...
Right around there. It's 7% right. Alcohol. It scores pretty well. It's 86 on the 100 scale, which is very good.
Yeah, I agree with that.
3.78 on the 5 scale.
Nice.
So not too bad.
A little lower.
Yeah, they're saying that they dry hop this with Mosaic and Galaxy, which is pretty good. They're stronger hops there. Oh, geez.
And those are hops that are like really known to like the Northwest area, right?
Oh, sure.
Mosaics and Cascades.
Yeah. Galaxy's new-ish, I would say. They brewed this special hop-forward tribute to their beloved Fat Tire, is what they're saying.
I could see that.
It's an homage, if you will, to the Fat Tire. If you know New Belgium, you know Fat Tire, right?
And it does have a little bit of that Fat Tire flavor to it, now that I'm thinking about it, now that you said it.
So, yeah, it's pretty aromatic. It tastes really good, but it's not going to pucker you up like a lot of IPAs will. You can drink a few of these. You know, a lot of IPAs, those heavy ones that are off the charts, you can one and done.
Oh, yeah, because then you already got a good buzz.
Well, you got a gut full of bubbles. Yeah,
that too. Yeah, well, and New Belgium it's a really good brewery out of Colorado. So, I mean, a lot of people know their beers. They put out a ton of good stuff. So, yeah, well done on this one.
If you ever wander up to Fort Collins, go by the New Belgium Brewery. They got a pretty cool site up there.
To New Belgium, of course.
Okay. I thought you were giving yourself props for the pick there. So
No, New Belgium.
I mean, go for it. I mean, if we're not going to talk good about ourselves, who else is going to talk good about us?
Absolutely nobody. Right? So that's
so toot your own horn, motherfucker.
Beep, beep. So Wild Ride is this week's. Do you want to talk about some of the other ones that we found while we were in Las Vegas?
Yeah.
We each found a favorite,
We did find some good stuff while we were there.
We couldn't get up here.
Right.
You know? So
real quick, you know what we didn't do, though?
What we didn't do.
We've done every single time ever we've gone to Vegas, and we've gone to Vegas a lot.
Yeah.
We didn't go to Sin City Brewing. And
they were closed.
They were closed.
Didn't you notice they were all closed?
Oh, shit. I didn't even know
When we came out of the Wahlburgers, there's the Sin City right there.
Right.
And they were closed every time we went by there. Okay. And then the one in the Miracle Mile shops, that one was closed too when we went by there. None of them were open.
I don't remember going by there, so that's probably why.
Yeah.
I think
they were dark and the doors were closed, so that would be why.
Or they're having a different kind of party in there, if you know what I'm saying.
Maybe, but we weren't invited, Vegas, so fuck them.
Right. Yeah, and I'm not quite sure why, because there was a few bars that were closed. I don't know if it was...
There was a lot, actually.
And most of them serve food, so I can't think it's a food thing.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, maybe because a lot of Sin Cities are just walk-up type bars, and you have to sit right at the rail, and that's still kind of a no-no up until just before we left when they opened to 50%.
Right, yeah.
But, I mean, you could still just take the stools away, and people could still come up and get a beer as they wander off like usual. You know what I mean?
You would think.
To-go beer only.
I'll tell you what, though, before we get to those beers, being in Vegas during a pandemic is insane.
It's very surreal.
It's different. It's almost like going during like a apocalypse, right? We got there on a Tuesday afternoon, right?
We did.
And it was empty.
And we had the run of the joint. I mean, it was empty. Yeah. And it was weird.
Yeah, it was.
And it stayed that way for really Tuesday and Wednesday.
It did.
But then Thursday night, people coming in for the weekend, it really started to pick up. And by Saturday, it was like, just Vegas.
Yeah.
Friday, it was almost like, normal times in Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Friday night was pretty popping.
Yeah. Well, on that next Monday, they were going to 50%.
Right.
Which I think everybody was coming in town for. Just the floodgates were getting opened there. So
Yeah.
Your results may vary as of right now. But
Right.
ours, it was a freaking ghost town.
But if you're looking to get out for a while, man, Vegas still has stuff going on.
You can still have fun.
Yeah, you can still have fun. Just make sure that you really like wearing a mask.
Yes, because those guys are on your ass.
Yeah. You got to wear it
you're there.
like all the time unless you're in your room.
Right.
But other than that, I mean, that was a great trip.
But the cool thing is with the not being so busy, we were able to do some cool shit we haven't done before, right?
Yeah.
Hit the Mob Museum.
Yep.
I mean, most of us have done it before, but you guys went again.
Yeah.
Still cool shit, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Got to see a lot more stuff this time.
Yeah, so if you've never been
because
to
there wasn't anybody there.
Yeah, if you've never been to the Mob Museum, check it out. It's a cool part of history. Just be prepared to be there for a while.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to take
There
you
is so
2 to
much
3
to look
hours
at,
to get through that thing.
Easily.
Easy. Yeah, about
Easy, and
3
you can
hours
spend
on your
more.
first one. Yeah, at least.
And then if you go, make sure you visit the Speakeasy that's in the
Down in the
basement.
basement.
Yep, down in the basement.
I think it's people might skip that, not knowing about it.
Maybe. And the
But-
drinks are a little more expensive, but they are super good, and they come they come like in fancy ways. So
Yeah, there's a presentation value that you're definitely I'm willing to pay for.
oh yeah,
You know.
and the quality of the drinks are good there.
Right.
So
Yeah, that's pretty cool. We did the Neon Museum, which was really freaking
Yes.
cool.
Yeah.
That's kind of a graveyard for all the old Vegas neon signs. And
Yeah, that's pretty cool
shit
to
like
see.
that. Cool little history lesson there to.
Yeah, and take the guided
Check
tour, not
Yes.
the self-guided tour. Because
Yeah.
I think if we took the
Yes.
cheaper self-guided tour, we would have just wandered around and go, oh, there's a sign. There's a sign.
Right, wouldn't know the history behind it.
But
Yeah.
that tour guide, wealth of information,
Yeah.
and there's a lot of backstory that goes into each one of these old signs that, you know, kind of gives you a connection to the old,
to old
Vegas,
Vegas. Yeah, exactly.
and really the old way of doing business down there too. You didn't realize how connected the signs were to an actual business practice or an actual psychology of how they wanted you to think or how they wanted to move you around or whatever. You got to go and see this thing. It's worth it. It's cheap. It's like $28 for the guided tour.
Yeah, it's not much.
No,
and
it's
you're
at
in there
night.
for a good, hour,
Yeah.
45 minutes to an hour.
Right. And
It's not big. It's not a big thing at all,
huge.
but they've got a lot of cool shit.
Yeah, it doesn't take very long to get through. So if it's something that you're
But
just worried about it
if
being
you love
timely, it
Vegas-
only takes maybe an hour.
If you love Vegas, definitely go.
Yeah.
Although with that place, I will not recommend you walk.
No.
Do not walk to it.
Don't walk to it.
No, don't walk to it.
We did.
It's a little
Yeah.
sketchy.
Yes.
I mean, it's not that far, but it's
Not that far off of
a little
Fremont.
sketchy.
It's north of Fremont by about a mile.
You still got to get off the strip a little bit, though.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You know, a little, or off Fremont, right, as an extension of the strip or whatever. You got to get out of
Yeah,
the main.
it gets not Vegas very fast
Yeah.
Yeah.
once you get north of Fremont Street there.
Yeah.
It's like the Zappo security stops and then all hell breaks loose
Right.
right there. Yeah.
Well, and I'll tell you, the last couple times we've done Vegas, we've hit steakhouses, and if you like food, specifically steakhouses, like there is some good steakhouses.
There's no
in
shortage,
Vegas.
that's for sure.
Yeah.
What was the one we went to the first night? The
Golden Steer.
Golden Steer.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sinatra's old haunt.
Sinatra. Yeah, it's a cool part of like Vegas history and shit, but it's kind of creepy in there.
It is.
They have these mannequins of celebrities at their tables,
Right.
where they
right,
would be
and-
regulars, yeah.
right? And
That was
they
weird.
are creepy as hell.
Yep.
They don't look real at
Not
all.
at all.
I mean, they look like they're from the 50s.
Yeah.
Easy.
50s mannequins, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're just sitting there staring at you. And like,
Yeah.
unsettling. Okay.
But it's kind of neat to see, like, if there were specific tables that they were regulars at, and it was kind of their table. Like they closed it off, and they put the mannequin there to help you visualize who it was that had that table, and you can kind of see them almost in your mind's eye, like back in history, sitting there, and like, man, I wish I could have been back here during that period.
Yeah, that thing was pretty cool.
Yeah, the Golden Steer. That was a
Yeah.
good experience.
I mean, the tab wasn't cool.
The tab wasn't cool.
But, it's what you expect to go to a...
Well,
I mean, it's a fancy steakhouse. Don't get me wrong.
You're going to pay a little.
You're
It's
gonna
no
pay.
sizzler.
Yeah.
But it's worth it. It's worth it for sure.
It is. I think I liked the voodoo steak.
Voodoo steak was pretty
I
good.
would say
a little better.
I did. Yeah.
No.
Probably being on the 50th floor of the Rio helped quite a bit
Well,
there, but
maybe I like the food though too. It was.
I like the whole experience of the voodoo though, because starting from the maitre d', that guy knocked it out of the park because he was so nice and just genuine.
Yeah, it doesn't matter who you are; they treat you like royalty.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was
Yeah,
like
it's not like going into Sizzler or Outback.
no. No, he actually acted like he was a old friend.
Right.
You know, and welcoming you to his steakhouse.
Right.
You know, that.
Right.
Yeah.
And then the waiter, he felt very connected to what he was doing as well and welcomed us in. And they were doing everything they could to make it the great experience that you wanted it to be, right?
Exactly.
And so the wait staff alone and the steaks and everything, all the food was great.
Great, yeah.
That was an amazing place to eat. Plus, then you're up on the 50th floor of the freaking Rio. You can see everything.
Yep, you get to walk out on
the balcony.
The balcony where the club is.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's a little blustery out there.
Yeah, and it was raining a little bit too. The weather was not very Vegas-like for us. I mean, it was like being home. Yeah.
I think we took Washington to Nevada.
I think we did. Yeah,
50s and rain. Okay.
Yeah.
But the people that live there are like, what the fuck is this?
Especially when it's like 75 there today. I was like, holy jeez, man.
I've never gone to Vegas with so many hoodies packed in my bag.
Yeah, and needed them.
We had to wear a hoodie every day.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. In fact, I probably could have left a majority of the clothes that I took with me at home and just took like 2 pairs of jeans and some sweatshirts.
Yeah.
And that was crazy. It was fun, though.
Yeah,
Weather was not good.
We always have a good time when we go to Vegas.
We did find a couple cool places that were kind of out in the no man's land. The place called The Nerd. So if you like pop culture, especially like old movies and like old video games,
old down on Fremont Street,
old arcade games, go down to Fremont. There's just look it up. It's called The Nerd, and it's in this weird little like shopping complex thing.
Yeah.
And you can go get some good beers in there. In fact, you
can go bowling.
Yeah.
You can ride a giant penis.
They do have a bucking penis. $10, you can take a ride.
Yeah. It looks like
unfortunately, it was closed. Otherwise, Mouth would have had his way with that thing. He would have killed it on there.
I was paying to put you on that. I don't know what you're talking about.
I would have done it.
I know you would have.
I'd have done it.
But they've got a movie theater where they do like 30 millimeter films too, so you can kind of see them in their true. Yeah, it's super cool in there, man.
Yeah, they did a good job with that place. It sold in. There's pop culture everywhere,
cool. And they sold. They had a small little counter of collectible shit.
Yeah,
you know, like I saw they had a first edition not Phineas and Ferb, Rick and Morty comic.
Oh, yes, they did.
There was 950 bones.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they were selling like a bunch of kind of Star Wars stuff too.
Yeah, they had some Funko Pops, like big ones, big Funko Pops.
Batman stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they don't have a lot at all. So, I mean, it's not somewhere you're going to go to try to find cool collectible shit.
No.
But if you happen to be in there, you're going to see at least some kind of cool collectible shit.
Right, exactly.
Right. It's more the experience of immersing yourself into it than a store to buy that kind of stuff.
Right.
You know, but around the corner and downstairs, there's that toy store, and they had...
It was small, but it was packed.
It was packed with shit.
All kinds of cool shit in there.
Yeah,
and
it was like
that's where you find your...
It was like the old antique stores of toys almost,
right.
You know?
There was tons of stuff in there.
It must be something, too, because there was a guided tour that was sitting outside. And
they were talking
there
about
was
that
not
place,
really anything else in that little area that would be cool enough for a tour to go to, right?
No.
Yeah.
So that must be... Maybe it's just because they have so much cool old... shit.
Was it an old ghost tour type thing?
You know, it could have been, but that whole complex looked pretty new.
Yeah,
though.
it looked fairly new to me.
Yeah, but I'm sure something used to be there.
Right. I mean, it most certainly could have been,
I was trying to listen in without, like, getting the jab of, like, hey, you got to pay money to listen.
Hey, you didn't pay for this.
You don't have a tag on your jacket, mister. Get out of my presentation.
Yeah.
You can't hear the ghost of Winchester who like to
I learned
piss
that
on the sidewalk right here.
Learned that lesson in New Orleans, man, by watching. Saw somebody try to like listen in. They just kind of like moved the group.
Yep.
And then they just kind of kept an eye on them to make sure they didn't come over.
There were a lot of mooches in New Orleans on that
Tell you what, those tour guides are good though. They'll spot somebody that's just snuck in there like right away. It's like, hey, wait a minute, you're not supposed to be here.
Yeah. You out.
Scram.
Anyway.
All right, let's get to these beers we had.
So we each found, we had a ass load of beers and whiskey and
yes, we
other
did.
things, but we each came away with one beer that we each kind of found was our favorite, right? That you really can't get here.
Oh, yeah.
For the most part, they're local except for Shigs out of California, it looks like, right? But the one I found, was called Bonanza Brown. It's from Tanaya Creek. out of Las Vegas, Nevada.
Oh,
okay.
Is that how you say
So it was a local.
Yeah.
It was local. It was made just outside of town there. It was a great brown, 5.8% alcohol. It scored an 83 and a 3.65. So
Not bad.
In the very good range.
Yeah,
Very good, yeah.
It was pretty malty, but it was still light. So you had a full body flavor, but a nice light finish. Color on it was great. Nice in like a coppery brown. Exactly what you're looking for. But full flavored, not very heavy. If you're in Las Vegas, I would go and check them out because I don't think we can get it here. I'd never seen it before. So
Nope.
we
not at all.
snagged that one. So that was a great find right there. I'm not sure if we can get it up here or if you can get it wherever you're at. But
Maybe.
they're a very local Las Vegas brewery, so I'd highly recommend that one. And you found, what was it, Chris Kael, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Their Impale'd Ale.
Yes.
Right? That's an Imperial Brown, if you want to talk a little bit about that.
Yeah.
It's right at the top there.
So this was it was a stronger brown ale. It was something I've never had before. Yeah. And it was 10% alcohol by volume. So it was definitely a jump up and bite you kind of brown ale. But the weird thing is it wasn't hoppy.
Not at all.
So it was an imperial in the fact that it was stronger, but it wasn't hoppy at all. Mm-mm. And it tasted just like a stout. So
that's what I remember.
Yeah, it didn't really taste like a brown. It wasn't as light as a brown. It was more of that stout kind of flavor. And it had a little bit of the bourbon kind of kick on the back end. It wasn't barrel aged, but it tasted like it might have had a little. There was a hint of it there.
Right.
But that beer, they have it rated at 87, so it came in pretty high, and at 3.99, so the higher end of.
I would have given it that.
Yeah, I think so too. But that was definitely
very unique.
Definitely a good beer, and that's out of Able Baker, which is out of Nevada as well. So, and I actually posted out a Twitter of that. So if you're on our social media, go find it.
Yeah, that one made the pictures.
Because I threw it up as being a really good beer and put it out on the social media. So yeah, and then of course Shigs. What did you finally find?
This is the main find because nobody would send us any.
Look, I've been talking about this since episode 1.
You mean you've been crying about it since episode 1?
I've really been. I've kind of been begging, really, right? Yeah. And I'm not ashamed of it. So you know what?
That fucker didn't send us any.
The heart wants what the heart wants. You know what I mean?
All right. Well, yeah.
So, but if you follow us on Instagram and Facebook and all that good shit, you know that we have finally found the elusive Steve Austin's Broken Skull IPA from El Segundo Brewing. And I'm going to give... Yes. Thank you.
Finally.
Clap
Thank
there.
You. Nice. And this is actually kind of a funny little story. So we were in... what was that? What's it called? American something?
Oh, yeah. I think it's called the American.
It's just one of the bars that's
American.
In the
Link Promenade.
The Link Promenade.
Promenade.
Yeah, so that's, if you know where the big Ferris wheel thing is, it's in that area in between the Flamingo and the
Flamingo and Link.
And the Link, yeah. So, and if you haven't been to Vegas for a while, it's fairly new. I mean, it was there the last time or two we were there.
Yeah.
But it's only a few years old, maybe at the most, right?
Well, and they have all the stores packed in there now, finally. So it's super big.
They finally filled it out.
They have some cool shit in there. They have an In-N-Out in there, a bunch of bars.
Right.
They have the Brooklyn Bowl, which is cool as hell.
When it's open.
When it's open. You can have a concert going on and you can bowl while there's a literal concert going on behind you.
A literal concert going on behind you, yeah.
I haven't been able to do anything but go to the bar in there, so...
they're always closed.
Right,
what the fuck?
I don't know. Every time that we go in there, like I go with you all, like it's always closed. But there's a Tilted Kilt in there.
Yep.
So there's like sports bars.
Tilted Kilt. There's a Gordon Ramsay fish and chips.
Yeah, there's a Gordon Ramsay fish and chips. So like the low-end Gordon Ramsay restaurant. Yeah,
my fish and chips, wanker!
It's fucking raw! That was the first time I've ever done Gordon Ramsay. I thought that was pretty good.
Nice.
Shit.
Not bad.
Anyway, El Segundo Brewing's Broken Skull IPA. Steve Austin's Broken Skull IPA. That one scored an 88.
I don't know how.
88 out of 100. It's the highest rated out of all the ones we did.
I think it's out of fear they gave him that
and a
score.
3.9. Nobody wants to catch a Stone Cold Stunner. You know what I'm saying?
This is true.
I
mean, if just for IPAs, I don't know. I've drank so many IPAs, it's hard to like put them side by side anymore. But I mean, it wasn't a bad. I have had some bad IPAs, and that's not a bad IPA.
No.
So
look, it's not horrible, but it's not It's not great. It's not flagship quality, I wouldn't say.
As you know, a person who's not huge on IPAs, right?
Right.
I mean, I drink them. I like them most of the time, but I'm not going straight for an IPA if I don't have to, right?
Right.
Was it the best I've ever had? No. But I'll drink it again.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'd still drink it.
I'll drink it again.
Yeah, I would too.
And the funny story about this was that we were at this American bar place, right?
All right, I'm gonna
in the
look on
promenade.
phone where the fuck this place
And
is.
I was pretty much done drinking for the night. It was getting late, and I had had enough. I wasn't going to go, right? And the wife wanted me to go up get her a drink. So I said, okay. I went up there, and Merlin is standing up there. And I'm not really paying attention, but I hear him say Broken Skull. And it kind of tweaked me a little bit. I was like, what? Huh? No, that can't be right. And then the bartender brings and slaps the can right down on the counter there, and Merlin's just acting like it. Just ordering a beer. He didn't fucking. If it was me and he was excited for something, I'd be like, "Hey, man, look what they got."
I slow rolled it. What do you
son
want?
Of a bitch just didn't do a damn thing. He just acted like I wasn't even standing there. And if I remember right, I looked at you and said, "Are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah, you did.
Are you fucking kidding me? You're not going to tell me? You're not going to buy me one? You're just going to act like, right, you're just going to act like, you know what? Whatever."
Well, you looked at the menu
I absolutely did not.
way before I did.
I did not.
I was up there studying it, and I was like,
look like he was looking at the
I was
menu.
like, oh, there it is. Yeah, okay.
For sure.
I'm
So
gonna get me one of those and see if he notices.
I may have looked at the menu, but it wasn't for any reason. I think it was just to look at something because shit starts moving after a while. Am I right?
Sure.
So it was just to look at something.
Yeah.
I wasn't getting myself anything, so I didn't even care what was on that menu. And there was like 45 beers on that menu also.
There was a lot.
There was a
beers
lot.
on.
Yeah.
I don't even know if I would have made it down that far to where it was if I was looking at the menu to get a
Right.
beer, right?
Yeah.
So I see it. I got to get it.
I'm a student of the game, so
I was happy as a pig in shit.
Yes, you were.
I was as happy as a puppy with two Peters.
you were
That's how
pretty
happy I
ecstatic
was.
about finding that
I was.
And then after he drank it,
or noticing that I
it
had
was
one.
time for grub and sleep.
Yes. Oh, every night.
Yeah. I think it's just called American Bar. Yep.
I think it is. Yeah. I think you're right.
American. See, they
Capital
capital C-A-N.
Yeah.
Because they have a lot of
Yeah, they have a lot of cans and
can
stuff. That's
beers,
why I said
not a lot
it's-
on tap.
That's why I said it's the American.
Yeah.
Yeah.
American Bar.
But yeah, so I
beer and
finally got
cocktails.
The Broken,
the Broken Skull
Skull.
IPA, so nobody out there needs to send it unless you still want to, just to be
They can.
nice.
They can.
Because we try to entertain you.
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't come this far north yet. I think they've got they
Portland.
started sending to Portland. Yeah,
Portland
that's
is
as far
as
north.
they go. Yeah.
My side note here on your Broken Skull is it's a blue collar IPA. It's the IPA
Absolutely
for
is. The working
bud
man.
and natural light drinkers
Oh, there you go.
who are going to
All
be
right.
like, oh, I'm going to try me an IPA.
There you go.
This is the IPA for you.
I would say it's
It's
not,
good.
it's a good entry IPA if you're just wanting to try one and you've never had one
But
before.
if you're a big hop head, hardcore IPA head,
then it's going to be
Probably not for
okay.
you.
it's
Well, it's going to be okay.
It'll
It'll
be
be,
all right.
it'll be your
You'll still
Bud Light,
drink it.
probably.
yeah,
The Bud Light
Yeah,
of IPAs,
definitely.
probably.
Yeah, it'll be on your lighter side of what you normally drink.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
But
it's still
it's-
good.
okay.
Okay.
I don't know how it got an 88.
I'd give it
Fear.
an 80. I'd give it an 80.
Steve was probably in the room when they were
Well,
judging.
I mean, that's, yeah. Like I said, nobody wants a stunner, so.
88. All right. Okay, 88. Yeah, sure.
Right.
All right. See you later, Mr.
I'll
Austin.
take it.
Hey, at least they
We'll
didn't
take
grade
it.
it a 90.
Well, yeah, that would have been ridiculous.
Right. All right.
Is that all you got for that?
But that's all I got for that. Those
Good
are the
job,
three beers. We
breweries.
got
Thank you.
the Kael Impale'd Ale out of Able Baker.
Yes.
I got the Bonanza Brown out of Tanaya Creek. Please write us and tell me how you pronounce that fucker. They're out of Las Vegas. And then Segundo Brewing's Steve Austin Broken Skull IPA. And then our beer of the week, or of the episode, is
the New
Wild.
Belgium
Wild
Wild
Ride.
Ride.
New Belgium Wild Ride.
Heck yeah. So good job
So
to
there
all
you
the
go. You
breweries that
you
we
got
found beer from.
4 little, suggestions there. So,
And they were all drinkable. Then we
Go out
give
and
you
drink
all
something.
some decent marks. So
yeah.
thank you
We
so
had
much.
all those-
Well done.
Oh, I might add, we found one find from Vegas,
Oh.
a new bar, which I think is going to be our favorite haunt, the Monte Cristo cigar bar.
Oh, yes.
In Caesar's Palace.
Oh, God.
Yeah, that show's
We
pretty
just
cool.
happened in there
This is
just because
amazing.
out of happenstance, whatever. We were just walking by and
Because
we're
I
like,
saw it.
yeah.
I was like, oh, Jesus, look, they have a cigar
I'm like,
bar.
Let's
an actual
fucking go in
cigar
there. And
bar.
it was actually open.
Yeah.
And it looked way too classy for three assholes like us
Oh, yeah.
to go in there. But did we?
It didn't look. It was.
Yeah.
But when you actually got in there, there was a whole bunch of other people that looked just like us in that
Yeah.
joint, man.
And-
So
Yeah. And you weren't treated any different.
They treat
No,
you like a king.
not at
in
all.
there.
They treat
Yeah.
you like an absolute king in
Yeah.
there. And
yeah, cut
Tell
them
you
and
the truth.
light your cigars for you and stuff.
Right.
Big old comfy leather seats.
the cigars weren't overpriced in that walk-in humidor.
Nope.
They had hundreds of different kinds of cigars,
Yeah,
and
the
they were
humidor
all top
was
shelf.
huge.
And probably the best prices you're going to find anywhere on the strip for cigars, because we looked
We've looked at
For
them,
quality
yes.
cigars.
for quality cigars. Yeah, if you like to smoke anything of quality at all, you'll know that in Vegas you're going to pay twice
Right.
as much. But these prices inside this bar were about what we find here locally.
Oh, yeah.
They're about home prices on everything. And then you take them right into the cigar bar. And that guy, the bartender, he comes right over and he treats you like a king.
Yep.
And they have hundreds of whiskeys on their menu.
Oh, they can make you any drink. Because,
they
a
have-
lot of
yeah.
cigar drinkers, including me, are very kind of picky about what we drink with our cigar.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, yeah. You were all over the place with that guy.
He even made me a French connection. So, and he made it the way I want it. So,
Right.
they literally do treat you super good in there. And if there's a drink that you prefer and there's a certain way that you prefer it, they'll do it for you, without any extra cost or anything. So,
Yeah. No, that place is outrageous. It is the best. I mean, and and especially for being in a high-end place inside Caesar's Palace, which is a high-end cigar, or high-end casino, excuse me, to find it so reasonably priced and to not have an attitude about it, like you find in some of the more posh hotels and casinos. They were like, we don't care who comes through the door. You're all
everyone's just as important as the next.
absolutely,
Yeah.
and
It
you can
didn't
sit in
matter.
there and we just relax. They have TVs along one huge wall that are quadded out, so you
Yeah.
had 4 different things going on, and
Anything you wanted to watch.
yeah. So if you're at Caesar's Palace and you're looking for a good specialty drink or a good whiskey or a good cigar or all of the above, visit the Monte Cristo, because that
Yes.
place is fantastic. I don't know why we haven't been in there before. I think that probably we don't go into
Scared
Caesars
off
off.
too much.
Yeah, not a whole lot. And when we do, it's usually just walking through the shops. You just do the 6-mile walk through all the.
Right. You got to wind your way around it, right? Because they got the little fast track thing to get you in.
Right,
And then you got to, once you're there, you're like, good luck getting out, fucker.
right. You just got to go all the way to the next end.
Right.
So yeah, I think we don't normally go into Caesars itself, and we actually did this time and walked around a little more, and that's I think how we found it.
Yeah. No, that was a great find on our trip there.
That was a good find. I also want to give a little shout out to all the new listeners that we got from while we were in Vegas.
Yeah, we got a few.
We handed out a lot of cards, talked to a lot of people. So
Or
if
just
we talk
new
to you
listeners.
in Vegas,
Yeah.
if we talk to you in Vegas, welcome to the show. Hope you guys like it. Quick little special shout out as we were walking to Ellis Island to homeboy from Alabama, not our regular Bama boy, but he was cool enough to talk to us on the
Oh,
the
yeah,
walk
that
there.
guy was cool.
He was cool as
Yeah.
shit. So if you're listening, what's up, man? Roll Tide. There we go.
That's as much as you're going to get out of us.
Only time you'll ever hear me say Roll
Yeah.
Tide.
And we've seen to gain a lot of listeners this month. So if you're new to joining us, thank you, and we hope you enjoy and stick with us.
Yep, tell your friends.
Hang in there.
All right, now that we got the beer over with, let's move on with the show. What do we got?
That was fast.
Yeah,
It didn't seem fast.
it did not seem very.
I think you're just time traveling again.
Right.
I know.
Yep. Another
All
stroke.
right.
Another stroke.
Those Vegas beers were pretty good though.
Yes, the Vegas
Vegas was-
beers were great.
Yeah.
Awesome. It was a lot of beer discovery this time in Vegas, more so than past years, I think.
Yeah.
Well, and because there was limited places open, so when we found a joint, usually they had a pretty good selection, and
was
so we're
less
really
run-
looking for new
yeah.
stuff.
There's a lot less running around fucking with people and a lot more just sitting
Right.
down drinking.
Yeah. But it was kind of I think it was more that, since we got this show going, you kind of keep an eye out a little bit more for something you haven't had yet. So
Oh, sure.
something maybe you could talk about, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, and especially with that place, the American, man, that place has a huge selection.
Shitload of beers.
Just a ton. Anything you're looking for.
Shout out to them for having the Broken Skull. That's all I
Yeah.
gotta say.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
All kinds of shit.
Yeah.
Well, before we get into the really big items, I want to see if you guys have watched. This movie. Maybe you guys can provide some input into my review. So I just watched Zack Snyder's Justice League.
Oh,
the
I've been
entire
hearing
4 hours.
all kinds of shit about this. Some people love it. Some people hate it.
Yeah, man, it's it gets both reviews both directions. I'm not usually a DC fan when it comes to like comics and superhero stuff.
Oh, yeah.
But I have to admit, like when I saw that it was 4 hours, because we started watching the movie before I figured out how long it was, and I saw it not too far in, and I was like, oh god, I can't believe I'm going to sit here for 4 hours.
Shit.
But I'll tell you what, man, like Zack Snyder does such a good job of keeping you on the edge of your seat and keeping the action going. And he did a better job filling the gaps from the two parts of the original Justice League movies that it didn't seem like 4 hours. It went by really, really quick. I know that it gets a lot of bad press or publicity or whatever. People are saying bad stuff about it because DC tends to live in that darker realm, I guess, when you're talking about superheroes.
Right.
But I prefer that. So like I didn't mind the first two Justice League movies, part 1 and part 2, the originals, but it did feel like there was some gaps in there that I'm like, how did we get to this point with some of these people? And Zack Snyder did a really good job of he gave you a ton of content that you don't see in those other movies to fill those gaps and plug the holes and almost make that storyline more continuous.
Well, you know what happened with all that, right? Like he was making the Justice League first, and then he had a family emergency and had to step away, and Joss Whedon came in and ended up reshooting most of the movie. And so that's why everybody ended up hating that first Justice League, because it was so chopped up.
It was. And it felt
just,
like it, yeah.
Yeah, and he threw in corny jokes and everything. And then this new 4-hour version was basically Zack Snyder saying, like, I'm still going to make my movie.
Oh, yeah.
And there's all that new stuff that's in there is what he originally shot.
Right.
I don't think he even got paid to do it. He was just like, I feel like he fucked up my movie. So I'm just going to do it the way I wanted to.
Oh, yeah. So. And from what I was reading, like, he's not going to do any more. He's not messing with DC anymore, like, on that level. So
yeah,
it's nice to have his product actually put out, because there was none of those corny jokes and stuff. Like, they kept it straight to the streamline, like, plot of the movie and didn't try to play the Deadpool role with you, you know, and try to make it funny where this is not a funny movie. Like, I don't want all that. Like, get rid of it.
How shitty is Joss Whedon got to feel for? Everybody hates my movie, but they love Zack Snyder's version.
I'm sure he's crying on his pillow filled with $1 million bills.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, they don't like me. He probably didn't even notice.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. So I have to admit, I thought it was solid, man. I really liked it. I enjoyed it a lot. It's not a 5 out of 5 by any means,
right?
But it's probably like 4.2, 4.3.
Oh, so it's up there.
Yeah, I'd put it up there. Huh? Yeah. I mean, I like superhero movies anyway, right? So, like, I was never big into comics, but I appreciate the movies. Mainly because I've never seen the comics, so I don't have to worry about lore or any of that. Like with Star Wars, I've read all the books, so I'm a little bit more lore-ish. Not as bad as some people,
right?
Whereas I can just enjoy it for what it is. So I thought it was solid. Now, from what I understand, you can only see it on Disney Plus. So if you don't have Disney Plus, I'm sorry for telling you about this great movie.
HBO Max, I believe.
Okay.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Disney has Disney's Marvel.
Yeah.
Marvel's Disney.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Yeah. So HBO. So there you go. If you got HBO, you should definitely check it out. You guys see it at all?
No. I was interested, so I looked up a bunch of reviews and opinions and stuff online, because I heard it was 4 hours, and I'm not a DC fan almost at all. So yeah, I watched a bunch of reviews and stuff, and I'm glad people like it better. I might watch it at some point, but I don't know. It's going to be hard to watch it in 4 hours.
Installments.
Yeah. Split it up over a couple days or something.
Yeah. Just treat it like a series on Netflix or something. Just binge an hour.
Yeah.
Well, and they did a better job bringing Darkseid in, like the big villain, because you have multiple villains in Zack Snyder's, right?
Yeah.
Whereas the first ones didn't. Like, they just had the one dude that was trying to bring the big guy back to life or whatever, but it never really got there. So I liked that. I thought he did a really good job, like, with the villains. And I mean, there was obviously shots in there that were the same or near the same, right? That you remember, but It was very limited. It seemed like 50% of that movie was all brand new. So,
Oh, yeah.
yeah. So, I don't know. I'm not a huge Batman, Superman kind of fan, but
Nah. Superman, if Superman's involved, generally I'm out.
yeah.
Usually those movies kind of suck.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they
Unless Richard Pryor's in it, then
Unless Richard Pryor's in it.
right.
That's a 3.
3.
Yeah.
The best Superman.
I still hold that Adam West is the best Batman.
Ooh,
That's my opinion.
Michael Keaton is the best Batman.
Yeah.
They're
would
different.
say.
They're different Batmen.
Well, yeah.
But
every single one of them's different. I'll tell you what, I am not a fan of the Affleck Batman, though.
That's
Not-
because
not
it's
a
Ben
fan.
Affleck.
yeah, not even Ben Affleck likes Ben Affleck.
Probably.
I've never been a fan of Ben Affleck.
Yeah.
Batfleck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ever since Days of Confused when he played O'Banion, that guy's a prick, and I've hated him ever since.
He just had to play that role straight. He didn't-
Right.
No acting involved.
Right.
Guess he's not coming on the show. Jeez.
Just act like yourself.
Right.
Right.
Like
Yeah.
he was going to come on the show. Scratch him.
Yeah. Jesus.
Well, I mean, he's done some stuff out there that I'm okay with, but I don't really like him as a Batman. So
I take George Clooney over Affleck.
George
Yeah.
Clooney was an all right Batman.
was all right.
I still enjoyed that movie.
Yeah, Clooney was
People
all right.
shit on it all the time, but
The great thing about
Yeah.
the Adam West one was that he went, his overacting really
that's
sold
what
it.
that's
you
what
know?
makes it. That's
And it
why
was
I
super
love it so
campy.
much.
Yeah, and he totally bought into that and sold it. So he was in the, what you call it, Captain Kirk sphere of acting
Right.
at the time.
Oh,
there.
very
That
much so, yeah.
Really solidified it, and it was like, man, it's so bad it's good.
Yeah.
I can't keep,
And that's
can't
why it's
turn
my
away from it.
favorite.
Yeah,
Just the scene of him running down the boardwalk with the bomb above his head.
Yeah.
Trying to figure out where to throw it.
Oh,
And he's
the-
like, there's
yeah.
shit keeps popping
big
up.
round
like,
black
oh,
ball with the fuse actually lit out of it.
Oh, I can't throw it there. There's people. Oh, there's a boat there. Oh my god.
Right. There's a thing of puppies.
Fucking hilarious.
The great
So
thing,
funny.
the great thing about the old school Batman is the kapow and boom and shit
Right.
popping up on the screen, right?
Yeah.
Smack.
The TV show had the never-ending bat something gadget, no
Right.
matter what it was.
Right.
The shark spray. Do you
The-
remember the shark
The
spray?
bat shark spray.
Well, isn't that like that whole boom and kapow and all the gadgets? Isn't that what like really linked it to the comic
They were
itself? Like,
trying
sure.
to, yeah, they were doing a direct link.
right?
Yeah,
They were
for
trying
To
to
the
give you
comic
the
book there.
visualization of like the graphic novel, basically.
Yeah.
You know?
And they
Because the
they did a
screen would
great job of
freeze
that.
when they did that.
Yeah.
So
Right.
it made it look like it was a page in a comic book.
Right, which for back then, I'm sure that graphics wise, that was probably pretty
Oh,
tough
sure.
to do, and it was like top of the line.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It made
Well,
it made it fun, not as dark as the character actually is.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
They never delved into his like shitty upbringing and
Well, and even with
Parents
the
all that stuff. You know.
and even with the comics, like it seems like whether it be Superman or Batman, just from what I know of the comics, it seemed like they grew, like they made them darker as they moved on. You know what I mean?
yeah.
So nowadays, if you're gonna put out one of those movies, like it's almost gotta have them in dark kind of roles. They can't be campy at all because they grew out of that in the comics. And I think unless you're doing a remake version, like maybe a remake would be okay, but
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, that's one thing I like about the Marvel movies. You know, you can watch them in a room that's got a bright background. And you can still see what's going on.
You're right.
yes, I agree with that completely.
They're very easy to see.
The Batman movies, man, there was like I didn't even know what the heck was going on. I just heard sounds on some of them,
I don't know.
like the one with what is that, Catwoman or whatever.
The
Like
third
that,
one?
yeah, the third one. That whole movie was super dark, like just physically dark, like hard to see.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Are you talking about the Tim Burton Batman?
Nolan.
Oh, no. Okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
Tim Burton Batman at least had the contrast
Right.
there. It was very dark, but very comic booky.
Mhm.
Nolan was what, Christian Bale, right?
Yeah.
Batman? Yeah. I mean, he was all right. He was all right as Batman.
He's pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I have a necessary favorite, but I have to think that Keaton and Bale were probably my two favorites in just watching them.
Yeah. I mean, it's fucking Michael Keaton, for Christ's sakes.
Yeah.
Well, and he's the original of like the newer Batman, like the Batmans that we know. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's the one
Yeah.
that you could believe was two separate people and people wouldn't catch on.
Right.
Yeah.
You weren't getting the Superman Clark Kent bullshit.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, he put on his glasses. What? What happened to Superman?
Yeah.
That can't
Yeah.
be Superman. He has glasses on.
Clark, where'd you come from?
Clark, did you see Superman?
Wasn't that in one of the older Superman movies? I forget which one, but Lois Lane like draws glasses on a picture of Superman. And she's like, "Oh my god!"
I think you're right.
Yes.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, she did do that. Yeah. Anyway, so I mean, it's worth checking out. So if you guys ever got the time, and
You got half a
do
day
it,
to waste.
do it. Yeah, it's worth watching at least once. So, and then the next thing that I want to talk about was a newer show. It's only like 3 or 4 episodes in. It's an NBC show called Debris. Have any of you guys seen it yet? Okay,
Never even heard of it.
Nope.
The premise to Debris is basically like over a certain amount of years ago, intelligence on Earth basically picked up that there was this wrecked spaceship. So the parts floating through space, and over time, pieces of the spaceship are falling to Earth. And there's this little team put together of intelligence people that are like basically going around trying to find these pieces. And then that's the basic premise. And so when these pieces hit Earth, like all these weird things happen. So each one does like something different. So they're encountering like these different phenomena from the piece, right? And so like there's one where it like puts people in stasis. There's another one that like creates clones of people. One that changes the weather and then changes the human physiology to where they don't breathe oxygen anymore. They breathe like chlorinated water. It's crazy, man. And which is in the version of this rain that's in this one like, but it's pretty cool. So basically, behind all that, multiple groups are trying to get all these pieces of the spacecraft to put them together for whatever reason. And at this point in the series, no one knows why. So
I think I saw a part of that where a guy, he like walks into this back room and he comes out, and when he goes in, he's fine. And when he comes out, he's got all these dicks attached to his jacket.
Okay,
They're just everywhere.
we're not watching the comedy show.
No. Maybe it was a different show. I don't know.
Yeah, different show.
It was weird.
Great show, by the way.
He was fine.
It is
and
a
then
great show.
All of a sudden,
Dicks.
Right.
everywhere.
Is that laughing out loud?
Yeah.
Or,
Last one laughing.
Last one laughing. Sorry.
On
Thank
Hulu.
you. Yeah, last
sorry.
one laughing. So anyway, it's a pretty cool
show.
Sounds interesting.
It's a pretty cool sci-fi show, so it's definitely one worth checking out. And it's on NBC, so it's easy to get a hold of if you're bored and looking for something
So
to
no
do.
dicks on jackets.
So some current
funny.
pop culture for you. The cast
It's
is
funny.
pretty decent. I only really recognize like the main lead male actor. He's the only one I recognize, but I don't know his name, so I can't really give it to you.
Brian Beneventi.
Yeah. Yes, Beneventi. So I've seen him in 1 or 2 things, and I didn't get too big into his other shows. I just seen him in some other shows.
They should bring back Mark Singer. Remember him? He was always in all those campy little TV sci-fi shows.
Mark Singer?
Yeah, remember him?
Beastmaster?
The Beastmaster.
Beastmaster. He was in V.
He was in V.
One of my all-time favorite miniseries of all time.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He was
V.
always in, if it was on
V was
TV
good.
and it was like kind of sci-fi,
Sci-fi, yeah.
probably had Mark Singer in there somewhere.
Yep.
Well, and V is like a 90s cult classic show, man. Like that one it wasn't a
was
huge
80s.
fall, or was it 80s?
It was 80s. But they
brought
did
it back in the 2000s.
Yeah,
right?
they did
that's
like
when
a
they brought it
remake
back.
of it too, which was not as good as
No, not nearly. But
original.
and it didn't seem like it was. It seems like it was like cultish. Like there's a definite following of people that followed
Yeah,
that.
for sure.
It wasn't like a mass thing. I don't think
Right.
it owned ratings or anything.
No,
but
no.
It's good though. Very good.
Yeah. So what's that show called? Debris?
Debris. Yeah.
Debris.
Debris. Debris.
Oh. School lesson also.
That's right. There you go.
For all those out there that don't know how to spell debris, now you know.
Now you know.
Can you use it in a sentence, please?
Sure.
Rewind the podcast. Like
You should clean
5
all
minutes.
that debris out of your mind.
There you
Yeah, there you go.
Look at the big brain on
Hey.
mouth. There we go. Yeah, I might have to try to
So-
check that out.
So anyway, a little
sound
bit
cool.
of current pop culture stuff, some newer stuff that just came out. Let's see. So let's move it on. What are we doing next? Are we going to do the movies?
So before we get to that, let's get to last week we posted on the social medias
Yes.
ruin a movie title by replacing
ruin a movie title.
Yeah, by replacing one word
Well, that's exactly what I was talking about. I said the movies.
with the word testicles.
Testicles.
I think he's not listening over there.
Yeah.
Well, we also have a 90s thing when it comes to
Oh, yes. Well,
movies in the 90s, so
all right.
don't get lippy with me. So I'm just gonna go through and read some of the good ones here.
Thank you, Mrs. Lippy.
Yeah, we had a lot of good ones on here. Some of them, if you don't know what the original was, we'll try to figure it out if we can, because nobody really put
Mine are pretty obvious.
what the original one. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, mine that
But just
weren't,
in
I
case-
just put them in parentheses. So
For example, the first one, Mark says the testicles. Well, I mean, that
Oh,
could be
that could be
so
anything.
much.
Yeah,
So, I mean, funny nonetheless. I would watch a movie called The Testicles, right?
yeah. I think
Should
that-
replace the word "the" instead, like Testicle Terminator.
Okay. Judgment Day.
Yeah.
Testicle departed.
Oh, there. Yeah.
yeah, there you go.
That's for when you become a man.
Ooh.
All right.
But if you just leave in that
I was gonna say
covers a couple hundred movies.
Yeah.
it sounds like a funny accident movie to me.
Testicle Goonies.
Oh boy.
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah. Let's move on. We'll be here all day with that. Okay. So.
Yeah.
So we got George said, "Oh testicles, well, where art thou?" Instead of "Oh brother."
You can
Yeah.
always do lots of that movie. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I actually posted on here. I mean, not just because it was mine, but I thought it was hilarious. Was Bill and Ted's Excellent Testicles?
Oh yeah.
Excellent.
Excellent Testicles. We also did The Lord of the Rings, The Two Testicles.
Mm.
I mean,
Oh yeah.
pretty fitting, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
That sounds like a toy movie,
Well, I mean,
right? Lord of the Rings. Anyway,
moving on. Amanda had a
Different kind of toy, but yeah.
right.
House of a Thousand Testicles.
Ooh, wow, that's a whole
I'm kind of
lot
intrigued and
testicles.
also terrified.
Starring
Right.
one Mr. Chris Hardwick.
Chris Hardwick.
Yeah. And Rainn Wilson.
Sounds like a Rob Zombie movie.
Oh yeah, Rainn Wilson was in that, wasn't he?
Yes, he was. He was turned into a fish boy.
Right. Jesse did. Dude, where's my testicles?
Oh yeah, dude, of course.
That's a good one. Okay. Randy went on a little bit of a tangent here, which I like. So we got planes, trains, and testicles.
Oh,
We got 16 testicles.
Yep.
I'm not sure what that one was supposed to
16
be.
candles.
16 candles. Okay,
Yeah.
that makes sense. 16 testicles.
8 dicks.
Raiders of the Lost Testicles.
Yep.
One of my favorite. Testicles of Endearment.
Oh,
Ooh.
Schindler's Testicles.
oh, those are some evil testicles.
A place I'm kind of curious to visit. Planet of the Testicles.
Oh, all right.
Wow.
And 10 things that she hates about testicles.
Wow, a man-hating movie right there.
Right? Stephanie had Dirty Testicles instead of Dirty Dancing.
Yep.
Chris, not our Chris, another Chris,
Yep.
had instead of Grandma's Boys, Grandma's Testicles.
Oh,
Grandma's got some splaining to do, I
right.
think, right?
Sounds like Mrs. Doubtfire.
Yeah, right.
Oh, it's Robin Williams now.
Yeah. Sarah, One Flew Over the Testicles.
One Flew Over the Testicle Nest.
It would have to be yeah.
Yeah.
Or One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Testicles.
Oh,
There you go.
Oh,
that would-
yeah,
That's
that
it.
would work.
That's
right?
it.
Yeah.
You gotta be pretty high to fly over a cuckoo's testicle, right?
yeah, what you would think.
Chris again, he had hot testicles instead of hot fuzz.
Oh, yeah.
Or
Testicle Fuzz.
he
Testicle fuzz.
switched it around to testicle fuzz.
Thank you.
I think I kind of like the testicle fuzz a little better.
That's a little better.
You're becoming a man, Chris. You're growing up, my friend.
That I definitely have some of these on my list. Yeah.
Okay. He also
called
did
hair.
That's a good job.
Kingdom of Testicles.
Oh,
Instead of
nicely
Kingdom of
done.
Heaven.
Yeah,
Instead of the Lost Boys, we got the Lost Testicles.
of course.
That's a damn shame right there,
I
man.
know. So bad.
Lorena Bobbitt's
I was gonna
struck
say,
again.
happens.
Right?
I was like,
Happens.
sounds like we went into a Bobbit porn right there.
Right. Jessica has War and Testicles.
Ooh.
Warren.
She also has Tropic Testicles
Ah,
Oh,
instead of Tropic Thunder.
Nice.
Nothing wrong with some tropical testicles, right?
well,
Caribbean
they-
action.
I was going to say, it sounds kind of sweaty to me.
Yeah. Look at Chris.
A little sweaty balls connection.
Sweaty balls.
People love my sweaty balls.
Right. And Chris again, he also went on a little tangent. Instead of Step Brothers, we got the Testicle Brothers.
Or the step testicles.
Or the Step Testicle. I like Testicle
That
Brothers
sounds
better.
Painful.
But wasn't that just
Testicle Brothers sounds like a tag team.
But there
Like
was
a
no
wrestling
the
tag
in
team.
front of that, right? It's just Step
It's
Brothers.
just Step
so
Brothers, yeah.
Sounds
Yeah.
like a DJ group.
Right. All right. Let's switch over to the old Instagrams here. Okay. We got Chris again. 50 Shades of Testicles.
Oh, man.
Wow.
That sounds like a beating.
Right. Yeah. Instead of Queen of the Damned, we got Queen of the Testicles.
Ooh.
See, Matt, not our Matt, another Matt. Pulp testicles.
Testicle fiction.
Testicles.
So in Queen of the Testicles, I imagine it's in Egypt and there's a lot of burying. Sand.
See, Matt also did Ferris Bueller's Testicle Off.
Testicle.
Like
a competition.
God.
You could take that
Or
with
they're
Face
just
Off.
showing the medical
Right.
procedure.
Right.
It's a docudrama.
Testicles off.
Starring Nicolas
I see.
Cage
He
and John
swaps
Travolta.
testicles with a criminal.
Oh.
Because they can only identify the criminal as the testicles.
By his testicles.
Right.
So the good guy has to, in order to infiltrate the,
Hmm.
I get it. You could use the same cast even.
Right. Okay, see, Katrina says Testicles 2000. I'm not sure what that one's supposed to be.
Probably Dracula 2000?
Or Terminator 2000. Isn't that a, yeah.
Yeah, it could be.
There's two of those.
Wait,
Both those.
But I don't know. The name of the movie must have been Dracula. Because I don't
Dracula
think.
2000 was a movie.
It was.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What
it had
about-
to have been that.
Testicles, A Space Odyssey.
Ooh. That sounds very science fiction-y.
Yeah.
Floating.
Take the 2001 out of it.
Yeah.
Fucking nerd.
come
See.
How it comes
see.
from.
Actually, Katrina's got quite a bit here. Okay, so we got
Bay doors, Hal.
the Testicles Club. 3 men and a testicle.
Ooh.
Whoa!
The fight.
The Lance
right there.
Armstrong story.
One of my faves, Testicle and Hooch.
Oh.
Testicle and hooch.
That's a different movie, I think.
Yeah.
Would you keep your testicle in the hooch? Is that what?
Right? I don't know, man. Cool Testicle Luke. She also got Testicle Mountain. Yikes.
Hey.
Wow. I think that's what that movie was about.
Yeah,
Yeah.
partially.
All right.
This one might need to see a doctor on. Rudolph the Red Testicle Reindeer.
Oh.
Oh.
It's
Well,
just
it
so
might
cold
be-
up there.
Hey, instead of the front end
Mid-castration.
lighting up the way the back end is, man.
Yeah.
That's so Santa can
More of a
see
tail
in the
light.
fog, man.
Yeah. It's more of a
gotta
tail
tell where
light.
the front of the thing
Yeah,
is, right?
exactly. Tail light, so when he's coming to a stop, everybody else knows to slow down and shit.
When they're moving forward, his nose is lit up, and when he
Yep.
stops, his ball. Yeah.
Yeah, he's got to back up. See, we got weird testicle.
Weird.
Yikes.
Weird testicle.
Nobody wants one of those.
Why does it look like a question mark?
Why did you create me?
We got on golden testicle,
Oh.
and we also got the black testicle.
What?
See, looks like
Oh, we might have to close
Sure
the
is
door
raining
right
cats
there,
and
man.
dogs
It
out
is-
there.
It is pouring today here in
Hailing
Washington
out
State.
there.
Yeah,
Yep.
Jesus. See, here's another cool testicle, Luke.
So
From,
if you're hearing something in the
our very
background,
own
that's
Matt.
what it is.
Sounds like my grandfather taking a piss.
nice Goonies reference. I get it. I got you. I see you. I see you. Using the men's room. All right, see, our very own Mr. Merlin also had a cool testicle. Luke, years ago, Ethan had a Star Wars, a new testicle.
Nice.
And he also had testicle combat instead of Mortal Kombat.
Wow. That would be odd.
Testicle combat.
Testicle combat. That's a whole different game and movie right there, right?
Sounds painful.
But I'm interested.
What does
sounds
the
crazy.
training for that look like?
Is that like extreme UFC?
Yeah. See, Merlin also had the green testicle. Also something you might want to get looked at.
Yeah. Well,
There's doctors for that.
yeah.
What's that? So the Green Mile?
Yeah.
Green testicle, yeah. And shit, I just threw in there Godzilla, King of the Testicles.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
he's fucking Godzilla, so of course
Yeah.
he's the king of the testicles,
Oh,
right?
yeah, dude.
Right?
The only one that might have bigger ones is King Kong.
Ooh.
Right.
Well, we'll see in the upcoming movie.
We
Right?
will.
That will be decided.
The battle.
My son really wants to see that movie, so we will be watching
I
it
do
in a
too.
few days.
So
So
it's probably going to be pretty fucking cool.
I will be
Yeah.
too. I think it's going to be good.
should be pretty good.
They've done well on both of those recently. Both those franchises.
Yeah.
Bringing them
so
back.
Yeah, they
pretty
did
good.
real good on King of the Monsters was pretty badass.
I didn't actually see the second
was fun.
Godzilla.
Oh, really?
It was
Yeah.
fun.
It was good. Yeah,
it was
It seemed like it
I
would
enjoyed it. No.
I think you guys watched that over here, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, that's those good movies. What do you
All
got?
right.
Don't you guys saw Merlin? What do you
Man,
got?
I got.
I know
a
you've been
whole
itching to
ton
get
of
these
them.
out. Let's
Hell
go.
yeah, dude.
We'll come
you
up
got?
some more as we go.
So just because I have to do it to you, so I'm going to give it to you first, even though it's
Ooh.
one of my last.
All right.
So I like Big Testicles in Little China. You could also go Big Trouble in Little Testicles.
See, I would have gone with big. I would have gone Big Testicles in Little China.
Yep, I figured you would have. That's why I gave it to you first.
Yeah.
So
And don't think I didn't think of that.
just because
the
that's
very
your
first
favorite
one.
movie, I know. That's why I had to steal it. Sorry. So, How to Train Your Testicles
Oh, nice.
instead of How
Wow.
to Train Your Dragon.
Yeah.
And then once you got them trained, then you have some Beverly Hills testicles. Yep. So
Is that 2? Beverly Hills Testicle 2?
well, you could do that. Yeah, you could go 2. Yeah. I just figured after you trained them, then you were in Beverly Hills. So then I went on a little tirade with Testicle Wars: A New Hope, The Testicles Strike Back, Return of the Testicles, and The Last Testicles.
Nice.
Just because Star Wars just was befitting. Indiana Jones and the Testicles of Doom.
I just thought of that one too. Funny. Yeah. Nice. He's going on a George Lucas rampage here right now.
A little bit. Harry Potter and the Testicles of Fire.
Oh, yikes. I mean, he is a wizard, so.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah. Yes, he is. Little Big Testicles for Little Big League.
okay.
Testicles of the Year.
Oh.
Rookie of the Year.
All right.
The Never Ending Testicles.
Oh, excuse me.
Oh, Lord.
Testicles.
You keep that in, you son of a bitch.
Right. The Never Ending Testicles.
Never ending. Yikes.
Yeah.
What kind of load do those things unload?
It never ends.
Yeah. I was just, oh, man. The Virgin Testicles instead of the Virgin Suicides.
Okay.
Or Free Testicles.
Free Willy.
Yep.
All right.
Song still works.
Testicle Squad.
Testicle Squad.
One of my favorites. What's eating Gilbert's testicles? What's eating Gilbert testicles? Yes.
Wow.
Or
If you've seen that movie, it's probably his mom. You know what I mean?
Oh, jeez.
or I think we need to up the rating, but you could have Lock, Stock, and 2 Smoking Testicles.
Yes.
Whoa.
Ooh, a little Guy Ritchie.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you have like Cruel Testicles,
Okay.
Cruel Intentions.
Right.
Little Shop of Testicles.
Oh.
Little Testicles of Horror.
Little
You could do it too,
yeah.
You could do it either way. Yeah.
Feed me, Seymour.
One of my favorite war movies, Full Metal Testicles.
Oh, jeez.
Sounds heavy.
Yeah, doing damage with those. And then I went, my last 2 were Harry Testicles and the Chamber of Secrets.
Could have done Harry and the Hendersons with that too.
You could have.
And it would have fit even better, actually. Because Harry's got some
Yeah,
hairy
but I
testicles.
thought, Chamber of Secrets.
Yeah.
You know where I'm going there. So I thought that was kind of funny. And then, of course, last but not least, Gone with the Testicles.
That's how some people leave.
Gone with the Wind. Gone with the Testicles. Yeah. So that was
Solid list.
my list of ones that were not taken. Yeah. So good job,
Good
everybody.
list.
That was
Good list.
pretty
You got
funny.
any Merles?
Yeah.
Damn,
Who's
play
got
it
stuff?
again? Yeah, I got a few.
Okay.
Just because some movies just lend themselves to having a word
Absolutely.
removed
Yeah.
and put in. So I recycle a few of them just because I hate the movie and I love trashing it. So
Okay.
to start that off, Sisterhood of the Traveling Testicles.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
For tying into our 90s theme, Twin Testicles, Fire Walk With Me. Everybody remember the Twin Peaks movies?
Or you could do
Yes.
Testicles Walk With Me.
Yeah. Testicles on the 4th of July.
Oh,
Nice.
nice.
Did somebody say Dances with Testicles already?
No.
No, not yet.
But that
That's
was
a good one, though.
That was a Academy Award winner there. Saving Private Testicles.
Oh,
Saving Private Testicles, yeah. It's a different movie, but I'm
A little
interested.
bit, but
I'm interested.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch. And I'll leave you with 8 testicles in a duffel bag.
Oh.
Ooh, nice.
Yikes.
Joe Pesci vehicle there.
Yeah, I don't want to find that.
Right?
I don't want to find that bag.
I'm wondering, but I'm interested. I'm
Yeah.
wondering what that's about. Right?
you know what else I wouldn't want to experience is fried green testicles.
Oh, fried
no.
green testicles.
Or any fried testicles. Well, I mean, I guess if you're eating lamb fries, then you're eating fried testicles, right?
Yeah.
I guess so, but they're not green.
Go get yourself some Rocky Mountain oysters.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So I just shot a couple out there, just not to inundate, but I thought those were good ones.
It just made me think of Rocky Horror Testicle Show.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh, also fitting.
Yeah, that's
Right.
a good one. That is a good one.
I do like that one. Yeah.
Driving Miss Testicles.
Driving Miss Testicles.
Her parents did not like her.
Dirty, rotten testicles.
Dirty, rotten testicles. Yeah.
There you go.
Nice.
Testicles with a vengeance. Instead of Die Hard. With a
Yep,
vengeance.
that's exactly what I was thinking. But you should put the Die Hard in front of that, though, for sure. Die Hard. Like, it goes perfectly.
Testicles with a vengeance.
Testicles with a
But that's not
vengeance.
how the title of the movie is.
Really?
The
It's just-
movie is Die Hard with a Vengeance.
Yeah, that is
It's
true.
not
but
Die Hard with a Vengeance.
It's just
All the
Die
Die
Hard.
Hards are, they don't, but
didn't you
Die
just-
Hard and Die Hard 2, and then after that,
Didn't he just say with a vengeance? He didn't say Die Hard in front of it, did he?
I don't remember.
I don't think he did. That's why I brought it up. You got to put the Die Hard with it.
Well, he used Testicles instead of Die Hard. Wait, what did I say?
Die Hard.
You did say Testicles.
yeah,
with a
you
vengeance.
did.
Testicles,
Okay,
so I did
I got
Testicles
you.
instead of Die Hard.
Die Hard. All right.
Technically, they're 2
I
words.
was going to
but it's
say,
a fucking,
that's 2
it's the
words.
title, so I mean, Testicles hard with a vengeance. How about that?
All right. There you go.
With a Die Hard vengeance.
That's a little better.
Bruce Willis explosion.
Makes me...
Fear and Testicles in Las Vegas.
Ooh.
Or Testicles and Loathing.
Testicles and Loathing in Las Vegas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. The big testicles instead of the big Lebowski.
Oh, yeah. There's so many ways
Big
you
testes.
could go.
The big testes.
Yeah, so many different ways you could go with it.
I'll think of more as the show goes. So
Oh, sure.
If
Oh,
you
yeah.
think of one,
Sure.
just blurt it out.
We'll just
do it
blurt
right
it
now.
out. Okay.
Sounds good.
We'll just move along then.
It's next.
What is next?
What are we doing next?
I don't know.
Time
You
to get
tell me.
90s, right?
Yeah, let's get
Major
90s.
testicles.
Let's start our roll in the 90s.
Major league.
Hatred.
So I'm pretty sure that good majority of the people that listen to this show, their heyday, yeah, our lights are tripping in here.
A little bit. It got very bright.
Yes.
Their heydays were the 90s, right? A lot of us grew up in the 80s or 90s or, late 80s through the 90s.
Well, and it seems like the 90s has kind of lived on, too. Like, a lot of people still know 90s stuff, even now.
Yeah, I mean, 80s and 90s, I think, were the 2 best generations. I mean, I've only been
Pretty
alive for,
iconic.
Well, you mean
a few
decades,
of them.
right? The
Or
decades,
decades, yeah. Yeah, but the 80s obviously stands alone. If you ask me, that's just my own personal opinion, right? But the 90s also kicked ass. We had a lot of good music and movies. Some of the best movies of all time from the 90s.
Yeah, I would say that.
Same with music. The 90s might even have more one-hit wonders than the 80s.
There was a lot.
You think?
There was a
There was a
ton.
turn. And there was a ton of genres that were popular, right, in the 80s.
All over
or
the
the
place.
90s, sorry, yeah. I mean, the 80s, you had
Yeah, that's when everything was split
pop
off.
music. It was
Yeah.
pretty much all pop or
Yeah.
hair metal, right?
Pop, rock, country.
Yeah, but country in the 80s was nowhere near like it was in the 90s. Once
This is
Garth
true.
Brooks hit the scene,
This is
country
true.
blew up in the 90s,
Yeah.
big time, right?
Right. But there wasn't a lot of alternative. I mean, there was, but it was way underground in the 80s. So
Right.
you never heard it on the radio.
Right.
You were hearing a lot of that stuff on the radio in the 90s.
Right.
Yeah, because alternative as a genre, I don't think was really around. It wasn't defined yet until the 90s.
No.
Right.
They didn't know what to do with it.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, it really, there's kind of a fine line, I think, right, between grunge and alternative. They're kind of
Yeah.
one and the same, right? I mean, grunge is basically alternative.
Any
For the
more
most part.
alternative is kind of vague.
Right.
Right. But
Anymore. But
in the 90s,
yeah.
you had straight up alternative radio stations, right?
Oh, yeah.
And that's what they played was Nirvana, Pearl Jam, Stone Temple Pilots.
Yeah.
That kind of shit like that. So it all kind of, grunge was just like a variation. Grunge was the Seattle music scene, right?
Oh, yeah, exactly.
So
and
it
I
was
don't,
just it was just Seattle's version of
I
alternative.
think that's because at the time, like, they didn't have a real definitive genre for grunge at that time. So I think it just fell under alternative when it first came out, So, yeah.
Right. Yeah. So, I mean, this episode could be 4 episodes long if we're just talking straight 90s, right?
Could be.
Yeah.
But we're not going to do that to you.
No.
Not right now. So, what's some of, I don't know how much Chooch knows of the 90s or remembers of the 90s anyway.
I remember a fair bit,
Yeah?
but it's all going to be late 90s.
Right.
I wasn't in existence until 93, so
Yeah. So,
late 90s, kind of getting into 2000s. I've got pretty good memories of.
Yeah.
But
okay, cool. So we can just cut his mic off and we don't got to listen to him. So
There
let's
we go.
to-
That's all right.
Which
You
means
didn't think I was going to go a whole episode without giving you some shit, right?
that classic movies
always threatening to
for
unplug
him
my
and
mic.
us are two different things.
Right. What do you guys remember about the 90s? What was some of your favorite shit from the 90s?
Some of my favorite shit or some of the shit I remember the most? Some of the shit I remember the most was these idiots walking around in these Timberland work boots who obviously hadn't worked a hard day in their life. These things were pristine. Tim's were real popular.
That was the
They were-
urban
that
look
was-
back
yeah.
then, yes.
Yeah, a lot of rappers rock the Timbs. I think that's really the only
even
ones, right? Because
R&B
saw
artists,
a lot
anybody
of-
that was in that
You saw a
urban...
lot of just
Yeah, 'cause
urban
randos
fashion.
walking around with Tim's on.
yeah,
And
because hip hop artists, rap artists, and R&B singers and shit rock the Timbs. But then like the grunge and alternative guys rock Doc Martens, right?
Doc Martens are combat boots.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Untied. They were floppy at the top or whatever.
Right.
And then paired with that was the flannel.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
Which was huge. Either
Oh,
worn or tied around the waist.
Usually tied around the waist.
Dumb as hell, but
Right.
whatever.
Well, and the flannels kind of lived on in its own way to a different era too. But yes, I remember
Flannel's
that.
always been comfy. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, shit, I still rock flannels today. I know for a fact that Mal does. I mean, even his Funko Pop's got a flannel on, right?
Exactly. So I like a good flannel.
There's nothing wrong with that, but back then it was worn mostly tied around the waist, right?
Yeah. Yeah. It was like the fad thing.
Paired with these combat boots, and it was like,
Jeans that were torn to shit.
yeah,
I blame Eddie Vedder for that.
right.
Because I think it was a live video, if I remember right. He
and
had
that whole
he had
Seattle look. It was the
Seattle look, right? The flannel tied around and the docks or some other kind of boots.
You ever saw that movie Singles?
Right.
Everybody's walking around.
I think some of that was born from like movies of the 80s, though. That's
Probably.
where kind of that started, you know? If you watch some of them, like the bad boy was always wearing like the flannel jeans, white t-shirt, you know, kind of look. So I think that's where it just bled on, right? It became like the rebellious kind of wear or whatever.
So they decided to be a little bit different, and we'll just tie it around our waist.
Yeah,
just in case we get chilly in a little
Because
bit.
it's fashionable.
Right. Right.
Well, Washington is chilly.
Yeah.
I remember like Jordans, Nike Air Jordans being the thing. Like that's throughout the 90s.
I had, from the time I was in, I think 7th grade, I got my first pair of Jordans. I had Jordans every year until I graduated. So that's all I wore through all of junior high and high school were Jordans.
Yeah.
Every new pair of Jordans that came out, I had.
I knew some people that were like that. Yeah.
Sneakerhead.
Wow.
Yeah, I actually still have some. I think they're up in my attic in a bag. They're not, they're not in
Keeping them
fucking
nice.
pristine condition, but they're wearable.
Yeah.
I might have to break those fuckers out again.
Yeah,
All these
there you go.
people with the, you got all these retro J's coming out now. Shit, I've even got a few pairs. I've got OG J's.
Well, and
They're the real thing.
it's a thing that hasn't died, but
Jordans will probably be around forever.
I think that's
probably.
that's where like I remember it coming into the fold, like that's when it really got huge, and then it just kind of lived on after that.
Yeah, but back then you buy a pair of J's and it's gonna cost you $100, $125.
Yeah,
probably.
right. It was
Which was a ton of cash back then.
Nowadays, you're lucky to get a pair of Jordans for $150.
Oh, sure.
Well, that's because of inflation, man.
They're collector's items too. They're
150
so
is
coveted.
cheap.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie.
Like 200.
Yeah, my Jordans are not.
Plus.
They're not cheap, but there's no way in hell I'm paying $300 for a pair of shoes.
Right.
No way.
Good for you.
No
Good
way.
For you.
There's no way.
Yeah,
Don't do that.
I haven't done that. I'll pay 150 just because that's shoes are like 100 to 150 bucks nowadays. Anyway, for the most part, unless you're finding sales
Depends on what
or
you get.
buying off-brand
Depends on
stuff.
what you get.
What's going on in here?
Now it's dark
I think you
again.
got to go
But I think-
fucking with your life.
I think a part of that though is because
We're in the dark again.
I know I can afford it, and I'm not poor like when I was a kid. When I was a kid, I wore like British Knights and like
Fucking
Ooh.
humble brag mouth over here.
The BKs.
Jesus.
The BKs
hey,
were
but I
big.
don't have any Jordans. Like, don't get it twisted. I've been looking for some, but like, I just don't find any that fit my style. Like, I wish I could find some of the old ones. But the problem is the people that sell those old ones are selling them like because they're nicer. Like the color schemes and stuff are better to me, but they're ungodly expensive, and I'm not spending that amount of money for some shoes. Like, I would never wear them if I spent that amount of money.
Don't even look for old ones. If you're not trying to spend money, don't even look.
Right,
Just
exactly.
don't, because they're going to be outrageous.
Yeah.
They'll come out with retro designs at some point.
I mean, like I said, I got some up in the
Yeah.
attic in a bag. I'll sell them cheap. Like, you find one online and I'll knock it down 5%.
5%. Wow.
Oh, Jesus.
Wow. Save you $6.
Friends and family discount there.
That's
Look
right.
at
That's right.
that. You're worth 5% as a friend. Anyway,
That's the buddy discount.
That's right. One thing I remember being big in the 90s, and I never got into them, but remember Cross Colors?
yep, I remember the cross colors.
Cross Colors was huge there for a while. It was just a brand name, really,
Yep.
right? But you could always tell when somebody was wearing. I think it was like Jamaican flag colors, if I remember right.
Primarily.
It was
wow,
like
look at
red,
that.
yellow,
Yeah.
and green. I think.
Lots of really bold colors.
Yeah,
white,
lots of bold
white,
colors.
red,
Yeah.
green, yellow,
Yeah.
purple. Yeah.
Yeah, Cross Colors was huge.
Yeah, it was.
Okay.
Big. Well, and so were like some of the other urban like Gene Co. and everybody wore Jean Co. Like I know people that were punk rockers that wore Jean Co. and people
the
that,
big balloon pants.
yeah, the big balloon pants, and then
Tight waist
and then you had
Now it's just juggalos that wear that.
Yeah.
right, and then you had like South Pole and FUBU and
Oh my god.
like all the urban brands.
Yeah. I think FUBU was more 2000s. I think.
Was it?
It started, if I remember right, it started coming into the play in the 90s.
How do you spell it?
FUBU.
FUBU.
For us, by us is what it stands for.
Yeah.
Boo boo.
It kind of went with your Timberland thing. There.
Yeah.
FUBU had some-
kind of, yeah.
FUBU had some nice stuff though.
Yeah, South Pole did too. I mean, they created
The only
some good
problem with the
stuff.
South Pole though is you knew a South Pole because they had these gigantic logos all over their shit. You know
That's
what I
true,
mean?
yes. They did.
South Pole wanted you to know that you were wearing,
We're in South Pole, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
FUBU is still a thing. Started in 92. They still got
Yeah,
a
there
website
you
and
go.
stuff.
Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
see,
Wow.
I knew they'd
Nice.
been around because in my senior year of high school, like FUBU was all over the place.
Woo, it's
Yeah.
expensive. Oh my god.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's not cheap
These
anymore, man.
sweatpants are $120.
Holy cow.
What is this, Lululemon?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah, the whole for us, by us. I don't know who us is, but
I
I'm
don't
not
know
paying
either.
that
Rich
money
people.
for.
No.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's kind of ridiculous.
Remember,
Still get yourself some FUBUs.
I remember the Gap being huge. In
The Gap
90s.
was huge.
Remember those
Yes.
goofy commercials
Is
they
that still
always
a thing?
had?
Is the Gap still a thing?
Yes.
It is.
I think they're still around.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're still around.
Well, I know
Not-
that they own, or Banana Republic owns them, or they own
Yes.
Banana
No,
Republic.
Banana Republic
sounds
owns
right.
them. They're like the
Right.
low end of
And-
that knock.
And well, then they own that other one, that real cheap one, in the mall. What's it
Oh
fucking
man,
called?
I don't know.
Aeropostale, American Eagle.
Hollister.
No,
No, those
Gap,
guys are all owned by
Gap
each other.
is the low end. Gap is the lower end of all.
The
no,
one by the mall by
Old
the
Navy.
Target. Old Navy.
Yeah,
Oh,
Old Navy
Old
is
Navy.
their
Old
low end.
Navy's
Sorry.
aligned with Gap
Yes.
and Banana
Old
Republic.
Navy's way cheaper than the Gap.
Yes,
Yeah.
it is. Sorry, I
Old
was
Navy's affordable shit. The Gap was like high end back in those days.
Right, and then Banana Republic
Right.
was even higher.
right. That was your high
Than
end.
that.
Yeah.
But those were all the same company, apparently. But
Don't even
Right.
step in a Banana Republic nowadays.
no.
It's same like $120 kind of shirts and shit.
Oh, geez.
Yeah.
Oh my God,
Well,
it's
they were
ridiculous.
always on that super upper tier
Oh,
of,
were they?
of clothing and stuff. So, yeah.
Look,
it was
if you're in Vegas and like the Miracle Mile shops or something, I understand having expensive ass shit.
Right.
If you're in a mall,
Yeah.
for fuck's sakes,
Yeah.
there's no reason to have expensive ass shit.
Dude.
if somebody's wearing those
right?
clothes.
Well,
I know.
Unless you're in like the Mall of America, but if you're in like most of the malls nowadays are all like, what
I
is
mean,
that?
it's basically a giant
outlet-
swap meet for
like
Christ's
an-
sakes, right?
well,
or it should
like
be
an
anyway.
outlet store or
yeah,
whatever.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And the outlet stores, man, like some of them are better priced, but those higher end ones that are in outlet stores are still selling like the high end junk.
Yeah, it's still
Right.
full
You can
price.
just get more clearance stuff there, it seems like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the mall is pretty much dead.
It's
Yeah.
But back in the 90s, the mall was the place.
I was going to say,
Yeah.
that's another 90s
That was-
thing, man.
Dude,
It was huge.
me and
Yeah.
my other buddy Matt, fucking almost daily, we were kicking it at the mall.
Oh,
It was
yeah.
the one place where your parents would drop you off and leave you by yourself.
Right.
Right.
You know, and you never got that kind of freedom anywhere else, really.
No.
And so you always wanted to go to the mall and just run around and cause trouble. And
Look at all the shit you
Dude.
are never going to get because you can't afford
Right.
it.
right.
Or you're just going there to try to meet chicks. If it was me, like I'm just in the food court, get some lunch, like go
Play
walk
around at
around and
No better place
People
to
watch.
pick up a hot chick than the Sabaros, right?
Ooh,
The food court at the mall.
Sbarros. Hey,
especially
babe.
nowadays.
Getting pepperoni. Yeah.
Ooh, extra pepper.
Oh, you like pepperoni too? Huh? All right.
Wow.
You want to sit together while the janitor cleans up around us?
Like right underneath us as
Right.
we're eating.
Right.
oh yeah.
Jesus.
I still have a little nostalgia for malls. I went and walked around the Tacoma Mall not too long ago, and they are full of those stores that are just selling shit for way too much.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
You know what? Congratulations on getting out of there without getting shot.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good.
I was intact.
That mall's had some shit go down there.
Yes.
before.
I've heard.
Forever.
I've
I mean,
heard.
it's a good mall because it's got literally everything you need.
Yeah.
Anything you want to try to find from a mall, you go to the Tacoma Mall. You got that
Yeah,
shit right.
pretty
It's
much.
just a little sketchy sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah, I can
Yes,
see
it
that.
is.
There were some questionable people out in
Oh,
the
sure.
parking lot.
Yeah.
Is the
Exchanging
Squire shop
things.
still there?
The which
Where
one?
the Squire shop?
Squire Shop?
Remember
the
that?
Squire
Learn how
Shop.
to be a knight or
That's
something?
a-
Oh no,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
not. It's not still there. I do remember that store. It's
It
not
hasn't
there
been there
anymore.
for
No.
decades.
Yeah, it's been gone for a long time.
That store was so
But
cool
I
though.
remember the Squire Shop.
Yeah, they just had a bunch of like weird, like medieval, like
Medieval. They had a lot of medieval stuff.
collector items and stuff. Like
Lots of swords and
Squire
yeah,
knives
swords and
yeah.
stuff. I think at one point in time they actually had some like pipe tobacco and that kind of stuff in there. At one point,
Well, there was
early,
a pipe tobacco store down
Right.
at the end
down on the other
by
side.
Nordstrom's down there.
Yeah, so I think like they at one point they did, and then they got rid of it or something. I don't remember.
Yeah,
A long time ago.
they moved out of the mall, but they're still around. They're the ones over by Bass Pros now.
Oh wow! All right, yeah.
But that was a fun store to go into.
Good for everybody
that's
who
a great
doesn't
story.
live in this state to listen to this conversation. Right now.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's over by the Bass Pro Shop. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Y'all know what we're talking about.
Yeah. Oh, you'll find it.
Yeah, you'll find it. Just,
Google
just walk
Maps.
around.
Just Google Maps.
but on the topic of malls,
It's
everybody
right down there. It's up
it
your ass
seems
to the
like
left.
it seems like everybody had a mall like that they went to back in the 90s.
yeah.
And
Everybody
then-
can appreciate
Dude, I'm not going to lie.
wandering around the mall, right?
Yeah.
I used to love going to the, and again, for people who don't live in this state aren't going to know, but I used to love going to the B&I.
Oh yeah.
And the people who do live here know what I'm talking about. The B&I was an interesting place to go.
So for
I do not know
people,
the
Still
I know,
is.
the B&I was basically an indoor swap meet.
Oh,
Right.
okay.
So
it's
like
more of an indoor swap meet now.
now.
Now,
Back
yes.
then it was more of a.
well, it was still kind of. It was like
It
a
was getting there, but it was
type
still,
of a mall.
They had actual stores in there that were actually decent stores. You know, like
right, but they were still smaller,
retail.
like locally
They were.
owned.
Right.
Right.
And it was a good chance
They
a
were
lot of
unique
merchandise
shops.
was stolen and they're
There's a
reselling
good
it.
chance, yeah.
Nice.
But a lot of people know Ivan the Gorilla, right?
Yes.
Sure, yeah.
He used to be at the B&I.
Okay.
And he
Yeah.
lived there for how long?
Decades.
Decades.
Yeah, it wasn't called the B&I back then. So more than likely, those of you out there that know the Ivan Gorilla story know the B&I, but know it as a different name.
Right. But they had, back in the early 90s, it had like Osborne and Hewlin. Remember that sports store?
Yep.
High-end sports stuff. That
Yep.
was at the B&I. They had like this high-end RC car toy and hobby shop there with an actual track out back. I think the track's
Ooh.
still there.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. They had, I think the pet store's still there. And then they had like different little boutique type shops in there. And then they had a water slide at one
They
point.
did have a water slide. A
And
food court.
Food court with a
Yeah.
full arcade with some like a merry-go-round.
Oh, yeah. And they
That
had
was
tons of stuff.
That was the reason to go to B&I was the arcade.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
And go and laugh at Ivan. Hi, Ivan.
Right.
Yeah.
Sit there and watch TV.
Because
with
Ivan
you.
was there.
He just sat there and looked at you like, the fuck away from me.
You're right.
Yeah.
I'm miserable as shit right now.
Right.
Somebody please.
Yeah.
Please put me out of my misery.
He did
It was the most miserable looking gorilla I've ever seen in my life.
End me.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I guess it was called the B&I, but it was called the B&I Circus Store. So like
Yeah.
and a lot of people knew it
Makes
for
sense.
that.
Makes
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah, so the B&I is still there, but it's literally like an indoor swap meet right now. So they don't really have stores, it's more like booths kind of
Yeah.
thing, right? And I had a few years ago, I heard that there's a store, in quotes, right, that has old school video games.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
So I went in there to, just kind of look and see what they got. And they had like, original Nintendo games and shit like that. Mike Tyson's Punch Out. I was like, oh shit.
Nice.
I've already got Mike Tyson's Punch Out. I still got it to this day. I was looking, I was like, oh shit, how much is that? He was like, I'll give it to you, $55.
Yeah.
I look. You must have thought he talked shit about my mom the way I looked at him. I looked at him like, are you serious? $55 for a game that is over 30 years old
Dude,
for a system that most people
Don't even
won't have that
don't
even work?
have.
I am so familiar with that with used game stores. They get those old carts in there, and
Yeah,
they're
I was like,
like,
you've got to be fucking ridiculous.
On the other hand,
kidding
how
me.
many of them survived?
well, and
I mean-
and to be fair, there is that. But I mean, just a cartridge of Legend of Zelda, Ocarina of Time.
Right.
You can't get that shit for less than $60 nowadays.
Oh, you can get one in my garage, though. I got one.
Oh yeah, yeah.
5% off, bro.
Ooh, I get the discount too.
Friends and family discount.
Even
Friends
Chooch
and
gets a
family.
discount.
Even Chooch gets a
55
discount.
for you, my friend.
Right.
yeah.
No,
yeah, I
it's
mean-
insane.
Look, I understand if you like still have the box and all
Right.
the original shit, but just
And
a
it-
fucking
and
cartridge
it's
that's
in
sitting there
good
collecting.
condition
Yeah, it's
still.
sitting there collecting dust. I don't even know if it works. Right.
You
Right.
probably still have to blow on it to get it to work, right?
Oh yeah, fuck.
Not actually supposed to do
As long as that
that.
shit's sitting on the.
But everybody did.
Everyone did. That's a nostalgic thing in itself.
Yeah, but once
On
he
the cartridge.
once he told me
Showing
that
in.
price, I was like, all right,
Yeah.
later, bro.
Yeah, later.
Peacing out.
God knows what else you're gonna try to rip me off for.
Right.
Oh, gosh. They get real proud of their shit sometimes.
Yeah, dude. I mean,
really do.
dude. If I would have gone in there and I could have got like 5 games for $50, I would have bought some shit, right?
Yeah.
I would have bought stuff. I probably would have spent more than $50 if I was getting, 10, maybe $15 a cartridge.
Yeah.
Right.
But $55 for
Even Game Boy games now. I was in New York City last year, and we found this used game store, and it was just wall to wall games of anything you could think of. And I started looking at the prices and everything, and even Game Boy games they were asking like $70-something for. I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah, man.
Good God.
Hopefully you hung on to a few of those.
Yeah. Yeah. I was a stupid kid and sold all my Game Boy stuff at some point.
Well, most people do. They sell them when they upgrade, to pay for the new
And I'll tell you what, man, I held on to my stuff for a long time, and they don't gain value like that.
No,
I mean,
not at all.
little game stores like that and stuff, man, you got to remember they're having to inflate the prices anyway because they're not selling the amount of product.
Yeah.
Like maybe if they lowered the prices, they would sell more product, but unless you have like the systems to go along with it, a lot of people aren't holding on to systems that work anymore. So
Right.
Yeah.
Look, I understand you're trying to make money, right? I mean, that's why you're there. But
it's just a reverse way of thinking. Yeah.
for like an example, GameStop, you take games into GameStop, right? You're going to sell them your old shit, get credits or whatever. They will pay for your games. They will give you like $4
Yeah.
Yeah.
for
Exactly.
a game, right?
Right.
It doesn't matter what it is.
Right.
Give you $4. And they'll turn around and try to sell it for
20.
$45.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
Oh, it's
No,
insane.
fuck that.
Yeah.
Fuck that. Well, let's make a compromise. Let's split it, huh? Let's.
But they'll give you store credit for $6.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Right.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A couple more bucks out of
We'll
you.
knock $6 off this $45 game that we also paid $6 for.
Right.
Anyway.
Yeah. Now, if you find a game on like eBay or something, that I can understand people selling it for a lot of money, right?
Yeah.
But when you have a store that you're selling, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
Go fuck yourself.
Your storefront.
Yeah. Go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
Anyhow. All right.
Well, since we're still talking about games, what some of your favorite games from the 90s?
Man. So many.
Oh, God. From the 90s,
We always played a lot of Twisted Metal.
we played a lot of Twisted Metal.
Twisted
All those
Metal was
games
pretty
were
sick.
fun.
Twisted
That was
Metal's
pretty fun.
great.
Yeah.
We spent a lot of time on that.
Yeah.
I used to always pick Spectre.
Spectre.
Spectre
Yeah.
just looked like a regular car, right? And then you just go and pull up on the sidewalk by other cars, and people just fly by you. And they
I
don't
think
see
you've
you.
mentioned doing this before.
And you just hop right
fucked
behind
up.
them and fucking blast them.
Right.
That's
Because if
fucked
you're anything else, like the big truck or...
Sweet Tooth.
Or Mr.
Sweet Tooth.
Grimm or Sweet
Mr.
Tooth.
Grimm, yeah.
Yeah. You stick out like a sore thumb.
Right.
Grasshopper, Thumper.
Yeah. I think for me, it was the Super
did play a hell of a lot
Nintendo
of
version of Mario. Like Mario just seemed to be everywhere. in
Super
the
Mario
90s.
World. Super
Yep,
Mario World was
Mario
huge.
World.
Mario's still everywhere. Jeez.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Super Nintendo had some of the best games in the history of video games,
Oh, easily.
right? Because you had A Link to the Past,
Yep.
which is, I know we disagree on this, but arguably the best Zelda game of
It's
all time.
up there. It is
right?
up there.
You got Super Mario World. What we had?
Did you guys ever play Spyro?
Yeah.
Is that a little
I played-
young for your
I played it.
generation? But Spyro is something that I have a lot of nostalgia for. They actually just re-released them, like remade them.
Oh, yeah.
It's really good. But
Yeah, I remember seeing that.
don't die, Jesus!
Fuck.
He's just trying to make all kinds of noise today.
Jesus.
All eyes on
Christ.
Shiggity. God damn.
Yeah.
Look at me, everybody.
I wasn't huge into Spyro, but I played it a little bit.
I played the fuck out of Spyro. The first one came out in I think '98.
I'm trying to
Yeah.
think, man. I can't
Yeah.
think of what else I,
remember
really
playing
played. Like
I remember playing a lot of Castle Wolfenstein
Oh yeah,
when computers first came out.
Oh,
You know,
yeah.
it was the first real like Doom looter or what do they call it? Cave looter kind of games or whatever.
Yeah.
something like that. Yeah.
Anyway,
I
it was a
I did
3D
play
shooter kind of deal.
Yeah.
a couple of the other games that I really, really liked were like Doom and Wolfenstein
Yeah.
3D
I
throughout
was
the
going to say
90s.
Doom. I played a lot of Doom. I still
Yeah.
play a lot of Doom.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're just fun.
They are.
cruising around and just shoot shit. And
Yeah, and they're actually difficult. Like, and there's a lot of shit to find.
Well,
Doom is good.
Those were like your first-person shooters out there.
yeah,
It seemed like, you
good
know.
ones.
Yeah.
Now you can't.
You know?
Now you can't get away from first-person shooters. It's
No,
almost
no.
every single game now.
A lot, yeah.
Just about, but
Yeah.
what was that 007 game that came out?
Oh, GoldenEye.
GoldenEye.
Fuck yeah,
Yes.
GoldenEye.
Kind of
Loved that
revolutionized how things are done nowadays.
First-person
with
shooters.
all
That multiplayer is still
that was
good.
fun.
Well, and the
Still
graphics,
good.
yeah, because the multiplayer, that was one of the first multiplayers that brought you like the ability to do like 4 people split screen and
Mhm.
that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I remember playing a lot of that. Yeah.
GoldenEye was good shit. It was really good shit. My buddies and I don't think we ever played the main story. I don't think we ever turned the main game on. We just turned on the fucking multiplayer.
You just ran
No
around.
one was allowed to choose odd job
No.
because he's too short. He doesn't have. You can't hit him nearly as easy.
Oh.
He comes around a corner, you're shooting for somebody's head.
Oh,
Odd
yeah.
job was like a head shorter than everyone else, so he was like cheating.
And when it came to graphics, like that seemed to be the turning point for those types of games and the graphics that they were able to provide. It felt like
Yeah.
that was a completely like genre changing video game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because they started wrapping the 3D models with actual
Right.
pictures
Right.
of like the actors' faces and stuff. So at the
Exactly.
time, that was like the closest you could get to
Right.
a realistic looking person.
Exactly.
So
and
yeah,
that
it
was the late 90s, so it makes
Yeah.
sense. That was a
Yeah.
1997 game, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh, Tomb Raider.
Tomb Raider
Oh,
games.
yeah. Tomb Raider.
Tomb Raider was good.
Yeah,
I
it's-
could never get the hang of those though.
I
Yeah.
wasn't very
Yeah.
good at them.
Yeah, the way you move in those fucking tank controls.
Mm-hmm.
That's also why I never got into Resident Evil.
Yeah. I was never
when it first started.
too big into those either.
I
Yeah.
did. I liked the first Resident Evil, but Tomb Raider, the toughest part was like there seemed to be a lag between the buttons and like her doing what you wanted, so it was
Well,
super
her
tough
an-
to make her like
There was a lot
actually
of
do it.
Yeah, there was a lot of gearing up in the animations. So
Right.
like if you wanted to run forward, she had her like stance or whatever. You press forward, then she's got to like get in position and then
she had
start
to, like,
running and
exactly.
then let go of it. It takes her like a half sec or a second to stop
do
kind of
it.
thing.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think that was intentional to make it more difficult, but
probably.
Newer Tomb Raiders are much better.
they are. I agree.
Yeah, but in the 90s, like I definitely played a lot of Tomb Raider. Yeah.
A lot of Tomb Raider.
Well, it's pretty like revolutionary, right? With like the puzzle solving and
Yes, it was one of the
like
better ones for puzzles, I think, and that's the reason why I played it. I didn't really do it for the shooting and the rest of the gameplay. That was like, nah, whatever.
Yeah,
I did it mainly because of the puzzles were challenging. It worked my brain a little more.
yeah,
right.
I don't-
Resident Evil was a good game, but it got old pretty quick.
yeah.
Yeah,
it was
did.
hard as shit.
It was very difficult.
Yeah.
That limited inventory and just
Yeah, you
the
had to
fixed
find a
camera
chest.
angles was
Yeah.
brutal.
Yeah.
Never got into it.
Yeah.
What
I
about
never got
Doom?
We just mentioned Doom.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, Doom and
Sorry, I had to step out for a
Wolfenstein.
quick
Yeah,
second. Yeah.
both of them.
Doom and Wolfenstein.
Yeah. What about Duke Nukem 3D?
I never got into Doom Nukem.
Oh,
Yeah.
Duke Nukem was
Duke
the shit.
Nukem was
Duke
fun.
Nukem was fun.
It was super fun. It was
It was silly.
It
It had
was,
a
of
lot
course, you
adult
probably
humor
wouldn't
in
have,
it.
you wouldn't have played it back then, probably because it was it would get a mature rating.
Yes, it was a
did have
mature rating.
Yeah, but I still played games that had mature ratings back then, like Doom and was Twisted Metal mature?
Yep.
I thought so.
Yeah, but this one actually had like nudity and
Oh, yeah.
stuff like that, and not
Yeah.
just blood and guts.
Sure.
Nudity and adult language.
Adult language, yeah.
Well, I was no stranger to adult language.
And-
I
Oh
was,
yeah, I mean we know who your dad is.
I was watching
Adult
Jackass from a
themes.
very early age, so I was not a
what about
sheltered kid.
Jackass in the 90s?
Fuck yeah, Jackass is fantastic.
Back when MTV was good.
Yeah, not a video game, but definitely a thing to remember from
but
then.
just a 90s.
They have a
90s
video
thing.
game. There is a Jackass
Oh, there
video
is a
game
Jackass
that's
video game?
actually pretty good.
Oh, yeah.
It was on PS2, not 90s, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jackass has a good game.
It really had a video game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
You
wow.
never played it? Oh,
No.
man. If you ever see it anywhere, pick it up. It's really good. It's probably super cheap, too. It's not going to be
Oh,
one of those
I'm
that you can that you're going to find for $50.
Right.
Go down to GameStop. It's in
It's
the buy two, get three free.
Right.
Yeah, it's
Right.
probably not even in the original case. It's just
take
in a
these.
sleeve of some sort.
Yeah.
That's as long as you have a PS2 to play it.
That's true, because
Jeez.
PlayStation
yeah.
isn't backwards compatible
That's
for
right.
some
Thank you,
reason.
PlayStation.
Genius.
Yeah, not till the 5.
What about Metal Gear Solid?
I never
Yep.
got into Metal Gear either.
I played
I played the original on the NES.
PlayStation.
That was just Metal Gear.
Yeah.
Metal Gear Solid changed the game.
No.
Yeah.
It did.
I
but
just played Metal Gear then.
the Metal Gear franchise, so I want to say the big franchises for me in the 90s when it came to video games was probably Metal Gear, it's
Must
another
have really changed your life.
No, well, I don't want to get the name
I
wrong,
just
man.
can't say it out loud. I'm going to start crying.
I stopped. I haven't. I just haven't played them in so long. They keep doing them, but it was like the
What kind
Tom
of game?
Clancy's.
Oh, Splinter Cell?
Yeah, no,
Rainbow
not
Six?
Rainbow Six. So
Okay.
Rainbow Six, I played a lot of that franchise. And then, of course, probably right around in the late '90s, you had you had Call of Duty come out. Period. But I
Right.
played a ton of like the early Call of Duties.
So did Merlin there.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
spent a lot of time. And Medal of Honor.
Yep.
and not just on console. Like I played Medal of Honor and Call of Duty and Counter-Strike all on the computer because I was one of those. You know, they like down in Puyallup they had Vans Arcade, but the arcade had a computer arcade in the back, so you just paid for like however many hours you wanted to play, and then you just sit back there. Like we knew everybody down there, me and my buddy at the time, and so we would just go into Vans and just play computer games for forever.
Nice.
And I have to
It was a
admit,
pretty
like
sweet
that
setup out down there.
that Medal of Honor, the World
played
War
so much
II.
Mortal Kombat down there.
Oh yeah, that World War II Medal of Honor, like the multiplayer map,
Yeah, that was fun.
with Omaha Beach. Dude, that was like the best map.
That is some of the most intense gaming maybe ever.
Oh yeah,
Is when you're trying
yeah.
to storm the beach there in Normandy and
It almost felt real when you got
Yeah.
the headset on, you know, and like you're fully engrossed in the sounds were like just changing for video games.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was just crazy.
that set up the whole Call of Duty franchise, really.
It did, yeah.
Now it's unrecognizable nowadays.
Yeah.
Well, and Medal of Honor just kind of dropped off. I mean, they gave way to Call of Duty and Battlefield, right? Or
Medal of
Yeah.
Honor had better one person or one player campaign
the
story.
campaigns.
They had
Yeah.
better story though.
They were always
Yeah.
more interesting. And
Yeah.
it was kind of cool how you had to actually have a little stealth in Medal of Honor sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
had
and it's
to be
kind
a
of a
little more
bummer that they
strategic.
fell off as a franchise over time, whereas Call of Duty is still going.
Yeah.
They did
You know.
make there was a somewhat more modern Medal of Honor.
There
Came out
was.
a little while ago.
But
I don't know if it was any good.
I
though.
don't, and I played it. It was good. I thought it was all right. But
Yeah.
for nowadays, everybody's either Battlefield, like you had this Battlefield cult following, or
Yeah.
everybody's Call of Duty,
Oh,
right? Like
dude.
everybody.
I work with a guy that fully admits that all of his free time is Call of Duty.
I play with a bunch of
Every
guys that
day.
are like that.
I don't like
Every day.
I don't like playing Call of Duty online because nothing makes you feel worse than getting killed by a fucking 12-year kid, right?
Right.
That's
Right.
screaming
yelling and
obscenities at you.
just
Yeah.
All manner of shit. They don't even know what it means. It's just
Right.
like,
Yeah, they don't even know the meaning. They're just calling you these words. They're like, whoa, kid, you can't say that shit anymore,
on.
first of all. Second of all, fuck off. You were adopted. Nobody loves you. Get out of here.
I'd ask if your parents are in the room, but you probably don't have any. Oh, shit.
Exactly.
Obviously not paying attention.
Oh, fucking asshole. God.
And then you have to leave that server because you're getting your
Yep.
butt beat by him anyway.
Yeah, dude, I don't mind losing. I have no problem losing. It's when that little kid starts to talk shit afterwards.
man.
After
Fuck
a
off.
while for Halo, Call of Duty, everything, as soon as I got into a match, mute everybody.
Oh yeah.
I never played with a headset or anything, so I was like, I don't want to hear whatever the fuck you guys are talking about.
Right.
There was
Always.
sometimes
muted
there was a
everything.
guy that would like hold his microphone up to like a speaker and like play music or whatever, and it sounded fucking terrible.
Yeah.
So yeah, you just mute everybody from the get go.
Yeah.
Yeah. The
Oh,
problem
the
nowadays,
90s.
the problem for like people like us, right, who actually have a job and have to fucking work for a living,
Right.
We're never gonna be able to compete with those people. The YouTubers or the Twitch
Right.
streamers that is their job.
Literally
Yeah.
play it
It's
for
just
like 10
literally
hours
playing
a
video
day.
games, all day long, every day. Do I wish that was me? Fuck yeah, I do.
Oh,
'Cause
shit,
it's cool
yeah.
as hell.
It'd be amazing.
But it's not, and so I can't compete with those people. So I don't even try.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
agree.
Yeah, I don't know. Video games have come a long way, right?
So is there a reason why you asked us about video games over there?
Besides being in the 90s and being a huge part of our lives.
Oh, I thought maybe you had a list or something that you were
Nah, just
trying to
just some of our favorites. So,
tee us up on.
see, we don't have to discuss all these. I'll just tell you some of the ones that I wrote down. Quake. Anybody remember Quake?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. I
Quake was
remember that.
huge on the Dreamcast.
Yes.
Fuck yeah, Quake.
Quake and Unreal Tournament.
Unreal.
Yeah.
The Unreal Tournament was awesome.
Well, the big
Yeah.
thing about Unreal is engine, the computer.
Still used today.
Right.
They just
Yeah.
update it.
Yep.
Unreal
Yeah.
is the engine to
Yeah.
run a game on.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah, I played that on the Dreamcast on dial-up, by the way, 56K modems.
Ooh.
I
Dang.
played Unreal on my computer.
Oh, yeah.
Also, dial-up.
Mhm.
Yeah, but see, the 90s also brought us GoldenEye 007.
We also mentioned that
Yep.
when you were
Oh,
out.
did you?
Yeah.
Change the
Yeah.
game, right?
Oh,
It
yeah.
did.
Give that
Good shit.
4-player split screen.
Yep.
StarCraft.
Oh, yeah. StarCraft.
Oh,
StarCraft.
people are still playing that shit today.
Dude,
Yep.
StarCraft was, I mean, it was big, right? But in like Korea,
Yeah.
StarCraft,
Oh, dude. Yeah.
I don't get it.
gigantic.
I don't
so,
get it either.
Yeah.
So, like, pro gamers in like Korea are more popular than an actor or a
Mhm.
musician, right?
Oh, yeah.
Their pro gamers are fucking gods over there,
Yeah.
and they play themselves some fucking StarCraft.
Well, I want to say
and
that
StarCraft 2.
StarCraft and the pro tournaments and amateur tournaments that it turned into is pretty much what gave way to esports as we know
Exactly.
it.
Oh, absolutely.
Exactly.
You know, that
Yeah.
StarCraft, that was StarCraft, man.
Which is funny. So StarCraft is made by. Do you ever play StarCraft?
Nope.
Okay, so StarCraft is made by Blizzard. So
Oh,
the same
okay.
people who make World of Warcraft.
Sure.
Or Warcraft, right?
Yep.
So StarCraft is basically Warcraft in space.
Nah.
Okay, so you're fighting alien beings and shit like that. So I'm really
Yeah.
surprised they didn't make like a World of StarCraft kind of thing, right? Because World of Warcraft is huge, obviously.
Yeah, it is kind of surprising they didn't take it to the MMO like realm.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, they tried to do other stuff with StarCraft. There was a single player game that they came out with that just didn't do very well. They tried to do other
StarCraft
stuff.
Ghost.
Yeah,
they-
Ghost.
there's actually a lot more StarCraft games than you think of.
Oh, I know. But everyone they're still in that StarCraft too.
So little tidbit for you, since you haven't played StarCraft. There is a character called the Ghost, which is on the human side, right? And she can stealth, but she can also call for a nuclear strike. And there was nothing worse than when you're playing online and you're playing against the humans when you hear nuclear strike detected, because that means you are about to get fucked up.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that means you are pretty much donezo, because they'll call down a nuke and just wipe out your whole base.
Oh, nice.
And it's it's just one of those things. So for my fellow nerds out there who play WoW or World of Warcraft, right? Especially the old school, like in vanilla, the original WoW. If you heard a Murloc, it's like this little fish person.
Those little green dudes.
It was the worst sound you could hear, because that means, God damn it, because
Son of a bitch.
that means you aggro a Murloc and they never come in once, right? It's these little fucking fish people
like
that
a whole herd.
right,
Yeah.
and they were a pain in the dick.
Really?
But you could just be running along and just all of a sudden you're yeah, fuck.
Shit.
Yeah, it's up there with the nuclear strike detected.
So
it was terrible.
StarCraft has 10 games in total.
10? Holy
Yeah,
shit.
and in 1998, when the first StarCraft released, they actually released 4 games. So you had StarCraft, StarCraft Insurrection, StarCraft Brood War, and StarCraft Retribution, all in 1998.
Yeah,
Whoa.
those were expansions.
Those were
okay.
expansions onto it, yeah. And then in 2000, so just outside of the 90s, then you had StarCraft
Sons of-
64.
Sons of Liberty, I think. Oh yeah, for the Nintendo 64. That's right.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and then
that's a
and
lot
then
of StarCraft.
and then there was nothing until 2010. They just kind of lived off that until 2010.
Yeah. What about so you guys probably already talked about Zelda, right?
We
Talk about
didn't. Not too much.
Not too much, but Zelda was huge in the 90s.
Ocarina of Time,
Oh, yeah.
probably
Revolutionary.
second best Zelda game of all time.
It was the first one I beat. I still enjoy it.
But it was the first one that was like big open world,
yeah.
kind of hop on your horse and haul
Fully-
ass across the world, basically,
Yeah.
right?
Play it at your own pace kind of thing.
Right.
Yeah. It's cool.
And they just don't make shit like that anymore. Mortal Kombat was in the 90s.
Mhm.
Oh, yeah.
Still going strong today. They got Mortal Kombat X.
And they're making a movie, too.
That movie looks badass.
Yeah, it does.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
So the Mortal Kombats that came out before the movies, super cheesy, right?
Yeah.
This one actually looks like a legit
it does.
Oh, yeah.
It looks
high
pretty-
budget.
It looks
movie.
badass.
Yeah,
you know,
it really
another
does.
fighter game that was big was Street Fighter, man.
Street Fighter was huge.
Yeah.
I
And
think
the movie was
that's still
awesome.
going. Jean-Claude Van Damme as Guile. Raul Julia.
Beating up on a dying
Who was-
Raul Julia.
Yeah, in Bison.
Yeah, I was going to say. That was his last movie.
Yeah.
I was always big on Tekken. I played a lot
Oh,
of
yeah.
Tekken.
Well, you had Tekken, you had Primal Rage. Remember you'd be fighting and then you turn into a dinosaur?
Yeah. I never played
Killer
Primal
Instinct was pretty
Killer Instinct. Yeah.
The fighting games, the versus fighting games.
They were huge in the
Exploded.
90s. Yeah.
Soul Calibur, was that in the 90s?
Yeah,
The first Soul Calibur? I'm
It
going to
might
find
have
out.
been.
It might have been.
I'm going to find
and you
out.
have Marvel versus Capcom.
Oh, those are great. Those are super
I
good.
don't know if that was 90s though.
Hold
I
on.
think it
Let me
was.
look up
It
Soul
might have been.
Calibur
I don't know.
first.
Right, probably right at the end.
I was going to say,
It might
if
have been. If it was Super
if it
Nintendo,
did,
it was on-
then it would have been
Well, it
late.
was on a console or on the
arcade.
on the
Arcade, yeah.
arcade.
Yeah.
Yep. The first, let's see. First one came out in 98, it looks like. So,
Yeah.
Soul Calibur. And
That
then what
makes
was the
sense.
other one you mentioned?
What would I say? Killer Instinct, Primal
After
Rage.
No, after Soul Calibur.
Oh, Marvel versus
Oh,
Capcom.
Marvel versus
yeah.
Capcom, yeah.
Those are good games. The most recent one they came out with is apparently not very good.
What a weird
Yeah.
combo, by the way.
Yeah.
96.
Mega Man versus
96.
Wolverine.
Well, actually,
Yeah.
first release was X-Men versus Street Fighter, actually.
Okay.
Oh.
And then
that
just
was
played off
96.
of that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Makes
and then,
sense.
then it
Okay.
evolved from there.
Right.
Okay.
But all those versus games were huge. Still
Yeah.
are. you
Yeah.
know?
Mm-hmm. Oh, they're fun.
Yeah. Mortal Kombat now adds like horror characters. Like they have the Predator, they have
They've got Jason, they've got
Jason,
Freddy.
Yeah.
Freddy Leatherface, I think is in
Yeah,
there.
they did that with Mortal Kombat X, if I remember right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've got it. And then they brought him in as downloadable content, basically.
Yeah.
Transaction stuff.
Yeah.
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 Fighting games are still in arcades. There was an Injustice machine at Dorky's last night.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Injustice is pretty solid, honestly.
I remember I've hardly played Injustice, but I know you can like unlock, or you could buy cards, or you unlock cards or some shit like that that'll unlock other
Somehow.
stuff within the game.
I don't know. I only ever played it with other people. I never got super into it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
But
it's solid.
the machine was spitting out cards, or was supposed to be spitting out cards. It
Right.
didn't look
Oh
like it
yeah, I
was
remember
working.
seeing the little
the
area for
cards
the
were
cards
backed
or
up.
whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, what the fuck is that?
Apparently, you hang on to them. I don't know. But it was a thing. It's apparently a thing. I don't know.
What other ones you got over there? You got some more?
No, that's really all I got. I mean, video games were pretty
Yeah.
big for me during the 90s, so
Well,
I played a lot of games.
I think that's where the 90s really bred the gaming generation. Like, it's weird that I'm in my 40s and I'm like, when I even did this little survey, like a Google survey, and it was like, would you consider yourself a gamer? And then it has like these levels, like, and the
Do they have an option for fuck yeah?
and one of them's like probably, and one of them's like definitely, and I was like, definitely.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm like, yes, I'm a 40-year-old gamer. What the heck?
I mean, that's my main form of entertainment anymore.
You're right,
I
exactly.
always was playing more video games than watching movies or TV shows or anything. So,
Yeah, me too.
As long as I can still see and my thumbs work, I will play video games.
Yes.
I don't care if the other fingers don't work. I mean, I guess you need your trigger fingers,
Yeah,
right?
you
You need at
Right.
least
But
an
it-
index finger. But-
Right.
Yeah.
well,
Yeah, you can make it work.
I'll make it work. You
I
put
mean,
your
as long
ass,
as
I'll
your
make it
eyes work, you could always hawking it. You know,
right.
I could do it with just thumbs
Turn
and pinkies.
There you go.
fire.
You just
Fire.
need two fingers.
Fire.
That's right.
Fire.
You just need 4 fingers, 2 each hand, and you're good.
Fire.
Fire.
I was
Cut
dating
down eye
a
twitch.
I was dating a girl once whose brother was this isn't 90s, but he had just gotten the Xbox One, and you know how they were trying to implement Kinect
Right.
Yes.
and stuff,
Oh,
and a
yeah.
lot of those early release games had voice command things
Yeah.
you could do.
Yep.
Yep,
He was
I
playing I think it was Fort Honor. And there was a part where you could scream fire volley and they would throw all these catapults, but it wasn't fucking working. And so I was just watching him sitting on the couch playing this game like, fire volley, fire volley, fire volley. This shit sucks.
That's when you fuck with him and just unplug the Kinect, so he's just constantly yelling at you.
Constantly.
Well, I remember one of the FIFAs in that same situation, like when the Kinect first came out, one of the FIFA soccer games input like verbal audio control through the Kinect, and I remember trying to do that, and it would not listen for you're like,
it's so
through
bad.
pass, shoot. No, I might as well just be watching a regular soccer game because this is what I sound like when I'm cheering.
I'm just yelling at
Jesus.
this player, and he's doing whatever the fuck he wants.
Is that not the laziest way to play a video game?
Right.
Oh,
It's
gosh.
so much is.
Turn left, move forward,
Jump.
Fuck! I think the most work a Kinect ever got was when Ghost Adventures guys started using it to hunt their spirits.
Oh yeah, they'd use the grid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think they
that-
still do, actually.
I think they do.
I think the only
A lot
thing
of
that I
people
really I got any appreciation out of that connecting was like when it actually did like some movement style games. I forget what
Right.
they were, like the Olympics and stuff. And I was like, okay, this is kind of fun. It gets me up and moving around and stuff.
Yeah.
But
I mean, really, the only thing it was good for was Xbox turn on,
Yeah.
yes,
Xbox turn off.
Yeah,
Right.
pretty much.
It was-
pretty much.
I mean, it was Alexa before Alexa, right? And that's
Right.
really
So
the
you
only
do
thing it
that
was
button
good for.
press, right?
Right.
They actually use Kinects for like security cameras and shit now. They repurposed them
Huh.
because no one actually uses
Smart.
Kinect for Xbox anymore.
No,
but no,
no.
if you, it's a decent camera.
Sure.
And it senses, it's got the
Senses
sensors,
movements
so
and shit.
yeah.
yeah, it can see a lot of shit. So people just use them for security cameras now.
That makes sense.
Yeah, why not?
smart.
Why not?
Huh.
All right, so yeah, that's video games in the 90s, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, a little bit.
You guys want to move on to movies?
Sure.
Yeah.
All right, so we'll start this off. I'll use this as a discussion starter, and then we could talk about shit that not necessarily would have been on this list, but what were some of our favorite movies, right?
All right.
So this list is actually top 15 highest grossing movies of the 90s.
Ooh.
Okay, and this is according to ScreenRant.com. Oh, I need the jingle.
Oh, you
Screen-
want the
oh.
jingle?
Top 10.
Sorry.
That's right, Chooch hasn't been here for some of these, right?
Yeah.
Oh, wait, sorry, can you do that again? One more time.
All right.
Top 15.
Oh, okay.
15.
Damn, stepping it up.
Wow.
Adding
Okay.
5.
So the top 15, and actually, I thought this movie
Extra
would have been. I thought this would have been higher on the list. Really, from 1991, $205 million. Terminator 2: Judgment Day.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
That makes sense.
I thought that would have been higher on the list because T2 is huge, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was huge.
It's probably number one for a long time.
Yeah,
Probably.
and that movie still holds up today.
Yeah.
Oh, it's
I
still
watched
good.
it not too long ago
It's
when we
great.
were in quarantine and I had to work from home. Still holds up.
Oh, yeah. The Terminator movies are good.
Yeah, now this one kind of surprised me. This one's so number 14 is from 1990, $217 million. Ghost.
Oh,
The Patrick Swayze, Demi Moore vehicle.
I'm
Really?
surprised that's not in the top 10. That was like Titanic for that era, man. That thing was huge.
Maybe it's because it was 1990
Yeah.
that I didn't understand how big that movie was.
Yeah.
Maybe
But
because it sucked. I don't know.
right,
One of the two.
I mean, to me, it's surprising it's on this list because I don't consider it one of the biggest movies of the whole decade. You know what I mean?
I
But-
just remember how big that. I mean, even in the late 90s, people were still watching and talking about ghosts. So
yeah, and it's not that good. I mean,
think
really.
Not at all.
They're just fans of Patrick Swayze.
I was going to say,
I mean, who's not really? But
I get it.
and that was like a Demi Moore's prime. You know what I mean? So you have this guy that's already established through these big movies in the 80s, and he's known as like the heartthrob of the time. And then you have the up and coming girl in her prime, Demi Moore, and then you put them together, and everybody's just like, ooh.
Oh my
yeah.
God.
I mean, it was really
Oh my
that
God.
clay pot building scene, right?
Yeah, for some reason. It's kind of dumb.
Apparently, everybody's fantasy in the early 90s.
I guess so.
Yeah, it turned everybody.
I don't really feel like getting my hands all muddy, but
It-
whatever.
Right, exactly. That's a lot of cleanup.
It's more the
Yeah,
Patrick sitting behind you.
Right. But then again, I was a
Now you're
teenager in the 90s. I didn't want to do a lot of work. So,
Right.
whatever.
Like I hear.
Yeah, I mean, you're doing all this clay work, right?
Yeah.
And it's obviously trying to lead to something out. Now you got to go wash up first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, because that stuff's going to harden up.
It's
Right.
not going to be fun.
Right. You don't want
Yeah.
that going into places. You know what I'm
No.
saying?
No, and it takes away
Yeah.
the feeling. Like,
Right.
What the heck? God.
Right. So, okay.
Plus, your pottery is ruined.
yeah, your pottery's ruined. Ruined.
It's
So, number 13 from 1993, $219 million. The Robin Williams classic, Mrs. Doubtfire.
Okay.
that is a good
Yeah.
one. That's a really good one.
It's not very often a comedy, is top of the charts. You know what I mean?
That one makes
No.
sense.
I mean,
though.
I think this list has got 3 comedies on it.
I feel like the 90s was
Maybe
not
four.
a good time
Maybe
for
four.
comedies.
yeah.
Yeah.
Uh,
Some of the best comedies came out in the 90s. Fuck.
Yeah.
Dazed and Confused. Shit. My second favorite movie of all time.
Was Dumb and Dumber in the 90s?
Dumb and Dumber was in
Yeah,
the 90s.
Dumb and Dumber
Yeah.
was in the
Funniest
90s.
movie of all time.
Yeah.
You had Ace Ventura.
Yep.
Oh, I love Ace Ventura.
Yeah.
Fucking Jim Carrey
It
classic.
was just a good time for comedy. People appreciated it a little more.
Right. Mrs. Doubtfire, I heard that there's a different cut.
Oh, yeah.
I heard there's an NC-17. It's not correct. The director even came out and said there's no NC-17 version. But there would be an R-rated version. And he says it's probably not going to come out, but because he had an agreement with Robin Williams that they would film like 5 versions that were scripted, right?
Right.
Just 5 takes, right?
Right.
But then Robin got extra takes to just improv everything and ad lib. And that's where the R-rated shit's going to come in, right?
Definitely.
Yeah,
And
I would love to see
I know I can
that.
speak for mouth. I also would love to see an R-rated version.
Oh, that would
Yeah.
be great. That would be great.
Sure.
Yes,
Anything
you
that's
can.
just Robin Williams going off the cuff.
Being Robin Williams.
Yeah, I'm in.
by far one of probably my favorite improv comedian by far.
No, he's-
One of them, yeah.
Easily.
If not
Easily.
the top, yeah.
Right. All right, coming in at number 12, 1997, $229 million, The Lost World, Jurassic Park.
Okay, that makes sense.
I'm guessing that one's only on there because the first one was Jurassic Park, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
First one was huge.
first one was
The
huge.
second one wasn't that great. It was more of a Jeff Goldblum story, really, than
Yeah,
more
well,
than anything.
nothing wrong with that, but you know,
nothing wrong with that at all.
not nearly as good though.
Yeah, but if that was like a standalone movie, like if that was the first one,
No, that wouldn't have
wouldn't have been as big,
No.
right?
No.
No, yeah, it was just riding off the first one.
Yeah, so coming in at number 11 from 1996, $241 million. I love this movie. I know Merlin's not a big fan.
I'm not either.
Twister.
Oh yeah, I watch it every time that
It's
I
a
come
dumb
across
movie.
it on
Me
the
too.
movie.
And
on
let
the
me
movie
tell you
channels,
why I like Twister. So Twister was it had great special effects, right? For the time. For the time it did.
Sure.
But when that movie came out, so I had got a Pioneer stereo system, right? So it came with the big 12-inch bookshelf speakers, right? But it also came with rear speakers and a center channel.
Mhm.
So this is years before they started selling the home theater in a box.
Yeah, it was
Right.
the early days.
Yeah. So when I got that, DVDs had just started coming out also. So I got that. The first 2 movies I went to buy, Independence Day and Twister,
Oh yeah,
because the surround sound on those 2 movies
is insane.
is insane.
Yeah.
Sure. All right, that's fair.
And that's probably why I love Twister, because I watched it so much because it sounded so fucking cool, right?
Yeah.
Especially just sitting in
Yeah.
my bedroom. In my bedroom. It's not even like in a living room. It's in my bedroom.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And I just got all the sound around. It was awesome. Coming in at number 10, this one also is huge because of the original. This is a sequel.
This is a good
Okay.
one. This is a good one, honestly.
It's a good one. This one would stand alone
Mhm.
by itself if
Oh,
there wasn't a
absolutely.
first one, right?
Totally.
So that's number 10, 1999, $245 million, Toy Story 2.
Oh yeah, that can stand alone. On
All the
its
Toy
own.
Story movies are great.
Yeah.
They're so
Right.
good.
They're
and,
good.
And even the fourth one was really good. Really good. Like, it surprised me.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
do
I
a
don't-
really good job of
I don't know if I saw
maintaining like the base storyline, but changing it up and then
Yeah.
providing you like new characters and then the way they do all. Yeah, it's good.
It's just really good story writing, honestly.
Yeah,
Every
it is.
Toy Story movie is good.
Right. Coming in at number 9, 1997, $250 million, Men in Black.
Oh,
Fuck yeah.
Men in
nice,
Black was
yeah.
a huge movie when
I'm glad
that shit
that's
came
in the
out.
top 10. Yep.
That was a fun movie.
Yeah. 2 wasn't too bad, but
it
the
was
first one was
Yeah.
by far the best.
First
Oh,
one's
yeah.
where it's at.
And I mean, that's not the one that put Will Smith on the map, but it definitely
Yeah.
made him a huge star. Right.
Mm-hmm. It helped.
Coming in at number 8 from 1990, 285, everyone's favorite kid, Macaulay Culkin, Home Alone.
Yep. Home Alone. Yep. And it's still living, man.
Everybody
That-
knows Home
One of the
Alone.
most
Oh, yeah.
popular Christmas movies, probably.
Oh, yeah.
Of all time.
And that movie was great.
It was great. Yeah, Daniel Stern and Joe Pesci is what, the Wet Bandits?
The Wet
right?
Bandits.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Just
As-
fucking
as
shenanigans
the
every
little
time they run.
villains.
On scene. Yeah.
It was almost like a new take on the Three Stooges. Like that's kind of
Yeah.
the feel
Almost,
of
yeah.
comedy that they
Yeah.
give you. You know,
Yeah.
a little bit.
And little kid damn near killing him on several
Right.
occasions.
Also,
Right.
yeah, and I fucking hated that little punk neighbor kid.
Yeah.
Because he's the reason Kevin got left home alone, right? Because he
Yeah.
was in the van snooping around, and they counted him as being one of
Yeah.
the family members.
Right.
But also, those are just bad parents.
Well, I
Bad
mean that's
parenting.
true. I mean, how do you get to the airport
And
and,
get on
realize
the
you don't have a
plane?
kid there?
Yeah.
Right.
yeah, right.
They didn't even realize till they were in the air. It's
Right.
fuck is
Yeah.
wrong
Well,
with you?
and everybody forgets weren't the parents in first class and all the kids back in coach?
That sounds right.
I mean, doesn't that sound right?
If you're traveling with little kids, though, you should probably keep an eye out.
Right. Well, you probably had aunts and uncles there too, right? They weren't sitting in first class.
Oh, I don't know.
So
I don't know.
you send the aunts and uncles back there.
That's right. That sounds fine.
all
you
those
guys
little
watch
bastards.
the kids.
Right.
We're going to sit up in first class and drink.
Right. So number 7, one of the biggest twists maybe in the history of cinema.
possibly the biggest.
Right, from 1999. 293 million. M. Night Shyamalan Ding Dongs, The Sixth Sense.
Oh, The Sixth Sense.
What is a twist?
I mean, you had Donnie Wahlberg looking like complete hell in the beginning of that movie, right? Unrecognizable. And then to find out that he's dead the whole time at the end. Twist.
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert.
Pretzel.
For anyone who hasn't seen Sixth Sense yet.
Right.
Had a couple decades to catch up. So
Yeah. I think that's probably Shyamalan's best movie.
You know, I haven't seen a lot of his movies.
Dead people.
But, right. You would think he would have gone on to be one of the biggest, like, suspense directors, writer-directors.
yeah,
of all
subsequent
time.
movies just haven't held up to that level.
No, he's had like
Right.
one, I think, that gave me about the same level of twist that I was like, ooh, I enjoyed that. Okay,
Yeah.
that was pretty
The Village?
interesting. Yeah, I think it might have been The Village.
The Village was pretty good.
Yeah.
It was pretty twisty,
Right.
if you will. But Signs, the one with
Yeah.
Mel Gibson with the
Right.
aliens.
Yeah.
I wasn't big on
Yeah.
Signs.
Yeah.
Everybody fucking loves that movie. I don't-
Yeah, it was too goofy
Like, it's
and
okay.
hokey.
Yeah.
And there's no twist there. Like he just tried to he tried to take you into like a sci-fi drama almost, and not his purview in my opinion. But
Yeah, I mean, it was all right, but
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
probably the last Shyamalan Ding Dong movie that I even know. Really.
I pull that back. Unbreakable,
Yeah.
I think, is his
Oh,
best.
that's
Yes.
right.
Unbreakable
and,
is his best.
that
Sixth Sense
Glass.
is probably number
That
2.
Glass is his
Yeah,
too,
Glass.
right? Yeah.
Glass.
The one in between that, with the
Split.
James McAvoy
Split. Yeah,
Yes.
Split.
That
Split
was
was
good
pretty
too.
good.
Split was good.
too.
Yeah.
Unbreakable, I think it has to be his best one though.
Yeah. Okay, so moving on, number 6 from 1996, 306 million. This is the one that shot Will Smith into superstardom, Independence Day.
Yep. Yeah, you
Yeah,
knew that was going to be up there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not big on it either.
See, I thought that was a fucking great movie.
It's a turd of a movie.
I thought it was a great movie.
It's kind of amazing when you see it the first time, just
Oh, yeah.
the spectacle of it. But
It's a big spectacle. It had
Yeah.
it had a big budget.
on subsequent views, it just kind of falls apart though.
You're like,
Yeah.
kind of dumb.
I mean, as it got towards the end when him and Goldblum try to, they go up into space and they drive the spaceship and
Yeah.
Yeah.
And nobody catches on and
right, and they sneak in there and upload a virus.
Right.
And
download.
Yeah. It started getting a little hokey there, but I mean, you got to
For
have
sure.
some ways for the heroes to come out
Yeah.
on top, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
And for the time, that was, I mean, like the graphics at the time were big, and like the spectacle of it was huge. Like,
Well, and the way they did a lot of the explosions and stuff with the miniatures and all that, just how they did it was technically very impressive.
Right.
So
yeah,
from that aspect, it is fun to watch.
Yeah. I mean, you asked me a good movie. Okay, number 5, 1994, 312 million. Arguably Disney's best movie of all time, Lion King.
Oh, yeah.
I had The Lion King on repeat as a kid.
I've never heard
Yeah.
anybody say, yeah, it was all right. Or that movie sucks.
Lion King.
Lion King is a fucking great movie.
oh yeah. No, that's a solid. You knew that was going to be up
Everybody
there.
growing up with the Lion King liked it.
Right.
Yeah.
All right, coming in at number 4, we got a pretty big jump here from 312 mil up to 329. Also from 1994, Forrest Gump.
Oh yeah,
I think everybody liked that movie too.
Forrest Gump's a great movie.
yeah. I love that movie.
A little long.
Oh, sure.
It's over 2 hours, but I mean,
doesn't feel like
nowadays
it
that's
is.
nothing, right?
No.
I mean, but back in '94, that was a long movie.
It spanned a lot of generations though of his life.
Exactly.
It was pretty immersive the way that they did it.
Yeah, and they added all these. They never showed like old people from history, like Elvis and
Right.
and stuff like that. But they mention them,
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
Forrest he
Yeah.
had a hell of a life, right?
Yeah, that's a great
All
movie.
the goofy stuff he got into.
Yeah.
Just happened to find himself in.
Right.
Yeah. So we got another big jump from 4 to 3 here. So from 1993, 357 million. The original Jurassic Park.
There you go.
Yep.
There you go.
Knew that was going to be
That
in
was
the
just
top
everywhere. That when that came out, that was everywhere.
Yeah.
Who doesn't
Mhm.
love a damn dinosaur and to be able to
Right.
clone
It
them and
still
bring them
holds
back?
up.
Yeah, it does.
It had all the corporate buy-ins and hook-ons too.
Yeah.
You get the Happy Meal and the whatever
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
all
everywhere.
summer long. It
And
was
the graphics
Jurassic
for
Park
that
everywhere.
movie, like you said, they still
Yeah,
hold
you
up now.
still look at
Like,
those
it still
dinosaurs.
is
You're
good.
like, holy shit, that's
Yeah.
pretty fucking good.
Yeah, I mean,
93.
they're legit.
Yeah.
They look legit.
plus you had Newman.
Newman. Wayne Knight. Wayne Knight. Imagine if that was a real place, Jurassic Park.
Oh,
Oh,
God.
man.
It'd probably go
terrifying.
down pretty similarly.
Yeah, there's no way that shit would.
That would be horrible.
It would never go good.
No.
No.
It'd play out exactly like that.
Right.
I have to admit, I would kind of want to go there, though.
Nope.
Right. Maybe in the very beginning,
Right.
before shit goes down.
Exactly.
I'll watch somebody else's video tour of it.
Somebody will put it on TikTok, right?
Yeah.
I'll watch the YouTube. That's fine.
Yeah. Okay. So coming in at number 2, we also got a huge jump from 357 million to 431
Oh,
million.
Lord. Putting on my running
1999.
shoes.
Star Wars Episode 1: The Phantom Menace.
Yep. The first
That was-
one to finally come out after the original. Yeah, man. Everyone
That
was.
was pretty huge. Everybody was pretty excited to see that thing.
They
Yeah.
were,
Oh, yeah.
and
And then they saw it.
And then they saw it.
I don't think the movie's terrible.
It's not awful.
It's not.
It's better than
obviously
Clones.
One of the best. Exactly. Exactly. Obviously, everybody hated Jar Jar Binks.
Yeah.
He was there for a reason,
Yeah.
right? He was there for the little kids to try to get them into it, right?
And the
Yeah.
lighthearted, that was the lighthearted comedy that
the
Star
levity.
Wars had throughout, right?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, little Anakin was annoying, but
Yeah,
I mean,
very.
he's a little kid, so I mean, fuck. What do you?
That
He's gonna
actor.
be-
What
Just
do you
his
want?
voice.
Right.
Even now.
That actor, I forget his name. He hates that he was in that role.
Oh, I'm
He
sure.
absolutely loathes.
I'm
that
sure
movie.
he doesn't hate his bank account. I'm sure.
I was gonna
but-
Well, I'm
say-
sure he doesn't. But if you look up any interviews or anything with him, he has nothing but terrible things to say.
I'm like, hey,
about
kid,
that movie.
it put you on the map. So,
He doesn't act anymore. That was his one and
Yeah.
only job.
well, I
He
mean,
was like,
he probably made enough to where he doesn't have to, to be
Probably.
honest.
I would
So
hope.
the question is,
hope.
does he hate it more than Dustin Diamond, rest in peace, hates Screech?
Ooh, that's a
He
tough
hated
one.
Screech.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Big time. Big time.
Yeah.
Gonna have to take a poll.
Yeah.
There we go.
Who hates the
New
movie
poll.
more?
Right. Who hates their life more?
Yeah. Okay. So coming in at number 1, also a huge. Give me one.
Huh?
Oh,
Give
I
me a
know what
huge.
it is.
Huge.
Huge.
I brought it up earlier.
You guys don't
I
even
bet.
know. It's huge.
So
Not my
from-
favorite movie. A lot of people went and saw it. It's my favorite.
Huge.
Huge.
So Star Wars 431 million, jumping up $600 million.
Yep.
1997's masterpiece,
That's a lot of money.
Titanic.
Yeah.
I'm not big on that movie.
Nope.
either.
Another
So
turd.
I recognize why everybody likes it. Again, the spectacle of it, like the second half of that movie, is pretty entertaining to watch. In all honesty,
Once the ship starts to go down.
exactly.
Yeah.
Once the disaster starts, then you're
Right.
like, okay, you got my interest now.
Sure.
I saw
Kill all these annoying people.
the 3D re-release of Titanic, and that was awful.
It wasn't.
Oh, wow.
That movie blown up on a big screen, it just looks terrible. It does not
Right.
hold up.
No.
Well, I think the first half, right, when everybody's still sailing, everybody's happy
Yeah.
as shit, right? It really shows the difference between the upper class and the lower class, right?
Yeah.
You see all these rich people and how they had their dinners and
Oh, sure.
and their own
Yes.
special ballrooms and shit like that.
How
and then
they
you see all
talk to
the
each other.
and you see all the poor people just fucking hanging out drinking down in the
Dancing
the-
down by all the cargo.
galleys or whatever. Yeah, by
Yeah.
the cargo.
Yeah, there are things to admire about it, for sure.
Yeah, but you're right. That movie really took off once they hit that iceberg and shit started going down.
Oh yeah,
Well, and they had to give you some kind of base storyline to get you on the ship, right? So,
Right.
obviously, what are you going to exploit? Like a love plot, like a love story to get you there, you know?
you don't necessarily have to do that though. Look at Poseidon.
Yeah.
There wasn't really. I mean, maybe there was a little love sub story there, but
there's character development, but it
Right.
wasn't like a running theme of the movie.
right. You introduce your characters, get a decent sense for who they are, and then shit goes sideways. And
Right,
that's
exactly.
Like the whole movie almost.
Right.
Right.
I think Titanic would have been a little bit better that way, but I digress.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yes. So
That
that's
left
the
crap.
highest grossing movies of the 90s.
Man,
They just made
That movie was
turd out
on
of
2
that frickin'
VHS
thing.
tapes.
Yeah, of course.
Mom
It
had
was,
it, and
right?
The first time I watched it,
That's
you had
right.
to swap the tapes out because it
Yeah.
was too fucking long.
Yeah.
it had an
That's
intermission
right.
in there. Yep.
So just skip the first VHS.
Yeah,
and
just
then
pop
throw
in
the
tape
second one in
2,
there.
and yeah.
What was some of your favorites from the 90s? Obviously, Dazed and Confused is going to be one of
Dazed
the
and
tops on my
Confused is
list.
definitely on there.
Dumb and Dumber, the ones that we mentioned already.
Right.
All the greats
Those are all good.
in the 90s. All those stupid like Happy Gilmores and
Happy
Tommy
Gilmore's
Boy.
good.
Oh yeah, all the Adam Sandler movies from the '90s. I loved them all.
That's when he was kind of in his prime. That's when his humor really kind of worked for everybody.
Right.
Nowadays, you watch an Adam Sandler movie, it's like
They're almost
wow.
trying too hard.
They are trying too hard.
Yeah. And back then they were just kind of doing their
That
thing.
fucking Hubie Halloween or whatever that we watched.
Oh yeah,
That movie was terrible.
That was horrible.
That was a terrible movie.
Yes.
I can't handle the Adam Sandler Netflix originals.
it's
That
awful.
the murder mystery one with Jennifer Aniston
That was okay. That was watchable.
but it also had Jennifer Aniston in it.
Yeah. But I mean, that was a decent movie. That was funny.
Yeah, I mean it wasn't bad. That Hubie Halloween, I have
It's terrible.
no
Don't waste-
desire.
don't waste
No,
your time.
it was dumb.
But he also had like Grown Ups. Grown Ups was good.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean,
Yeah, it's all right.
Yeah.
it also had all his former
It got all
SNL cast members in it too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
got
that
all
one
the
was
guys
Kevin
that you
James.
know.
That one was all right. Yeah, I like that one.
Got the band back together, man.
And
Was-
the one with the little kid, where he,
Big Daddy.
yeah,
Big Daddy.
Big Daddy.
That's a good one,
Yeah,
too.
I
Daddy
like
was
that
great.
one. That I don't think that was a '90s movie that ran into the 2000s. I think.
Big Daddy was all right, but it's probably one of my least favorite. I know a lot of people love that
Yeah.
movie, and it's a good movie, but I'd rather do Billy Madison, Happy Gilmore.
Oh yeah, I mean,
sure.
Definitely.
you
if
don't
we're-
mess with the Zohan,
if
the
you-
Water Boy,
right? If you're talking
Waterboy's
like
good.
just his pure movies, then yes,
right. But shit, in the '90s you had Friday.
Yep.
Yeah.
Friday's a fucking great movie.
Boys in the Hood, Menace to
Boys and
Society.
Men to Society. Yep.
Tombstone was one of my favorites. Still is.
Tombstone was a good
Tombstone,
movie. To this
love
day.
that movie.
That was a great one.
Casino.
Oh,
Casino's
Casino.
one of
Yeah.
my
that was-
favorites.
yeah.
That was a mid '90s,
I
1995.
forgot about
Yeah,
Casino.
Mission Impossible.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
The start of the whole franchise there.
Yep.
Yeah.
Tom Cruise
Still
is
the best
doing
one if you
great
ask
in the
me.
90s.
I thought the first Mission
Yeah.
Impossible was awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The first
yeah,
one
it was
set
so
the
good.
tone for sure.
Yeah, it was great. Days of Thunder. Remember that one?
Days of Thunder.
Oh yeah, there was some good Tom Cruise movies in the
That was
in the
fun.
'90s.
That was a fun one. I mean, it's just about racing, but
Right.
Braveheart.
still kind of sucked you in.
Was Braveheart 90s?
Yep, 1995.
Braveheart's
Yeah.
a good fucking movie.
What about Seven?
I love Braveheart.
Seven.
Seven
Oh, I
was
love
good.
Seven.
What's
Yep.
in the box?
Yes.
What's in the box?
That one was creepy in a completely different way. I mean, it,
Oh, yeah.
it was
Oh, yeah.
scared you just. Ugh.
That one plays with you.
Yeah.
It's a
What about
good movie.
Clueless.
Oh yeah, cool.
Yeah,
This was
Clueless in the
great.
90s.
What about the great Captain Ron?
Oh, fucking love Captain Ron, dude. Of course, it's got Kurt Russell in it, so
Yeah.
that's a great movie.
Apparently, got to get those glass eyes custom made, right?
That kid tries to take a swig of his beer. He's like, "What are you doing? You want a beer? You get your own beer."
You know, another good Tom
Over
Cruise
there.
movie that I appreciated in the '90s was A Few Good Men.
Few Good Men. Yeah,
Oh,
great movie.
classic. Yeah.
You can't handle the
And
truth.
how were
Can't handle the truth.
I'm surprised those aren't on the list.
Good old Nicholson.
Those were huge blockbusters,
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
Well, The Green Mile was in there too at 1999, late '90s.
Yeah.
I mean that one wasn't as big. You know, a lot of the ones that came from books in that era
Yeah.
didn't do as well. But
Yeah.
Your Fear
It
and
is a good
Loathing
movie.
was in
Yeah.
there.
I
Oh
love
yeah,
98.
Yeah.
I am a big fan of Fear and Loathing.
yeah, Fear and
Fucking
Loathing
love
is
it.
awesome.
Both the book and the movie.
Yes.
are excellent.
Yes.
The next time we go to Vegas, I'm getting a Hunter S. Thompson.
There
get
you
up.
go.
There you go.
We can walk in front of the Circus all ethered up.
Oh,
Yeah.
that dude,
Oh,
that would
yeah.
be so cool.
Yeah, The Sandlot.
The
Sandlot was
Sandlot.
in the 90s.
Yeah.
Total
What about-
Recall?
Total Recall. 2 weeks.
Total Recall.
Total Recall is badass.
That's
Oh,
a good
yeah.
It
movie.
was
That's a
fun.
really good movie.
Yeah, one of my favorites, Jerry Maguire.
Yes, Jerry Maguire.
Jerry Maguire was a great movie.
Jerry Maguire is one of your favorites.
I love Jerry Maguire.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Probably because I'm a sports
each-
guy. I don't know.
Might be the
To each their own.
best answer for that.
I don't know. I wasn't big on Jerry Maguire either.
Boogie Nights was in the
Ooh,
90s.
Oh, yeah.
Boogie Nights. I
Boogie
forgot
Nights was
about
good.
that. Yeah.
William
That's
H.
a
Macy.
Yeah.
That's my wife, you asshole. His wife is that porn star that's always banging random dudes. You had Fargo, Tommy Boy.
Tarantino had a run of movies in the 90s. Reservoir Dogs was
Oh, yeah.
in the 90s.
Tommy Boy,
Was Kill
man.
Bill 90s?
That's a very
Kill-
underrated 90s
It would have
movie,
had
in
to
my
have been
opinion.
late 90s. Hold on.
I don't think so. I think that was like
research
01.
Tommy Boy still holds up, by the way. I just watched that not too
Tommy
long
Boy
ago.
is great.
Yeah.
That's
Tommy
my
Boy's
favorite Chris Farley movie.
And
I
Black
mean-
Sheep filmed right up here in Buckley Town, they call it in
Buckley
there.
Town.
Yeah. I was going to say,
Buckley
like,
Town, but they incorrectly put it in Eastern Washington.
Yeah, right.
you're talking about the end of an era for one of the greatest comedians of all time with Chris Farley.
Chris Farley.
Yeah.
Oh gosh. Yeah.
Yep.
Who knew he was on cocaine?
Right, yeah,
Who
Jesus. Yeah, Point Break, the original, was in the 90s.
Little Keanu.
Goodfellas.
Goodfellas is awesome. That's a good one. Is Taxi?
No, Taxi
No?
Driver's
Okay.
way
70s, right? Late
early
70s?
80s, late 70s.
Oh
somewhere
wow.
around
Okay,
there.
way off on that one.
Boondock Saints.
Boondock
Ooh.
Saints. Can't forget the Big Lebowski.
Big Lebowski was in there. Yeah.
Boondock Saints is one of my favorite movies.
Yeah, how
that
could it
movie
not be?
still holds up.
Yes.
That's
I-
a great one. Oh,
yeah.
was Lockstock 90s? Hold on.
It could have been.
Lockstock is a
Could have
really
been.
good one too.
Could have been.
Lockstock. Do smoking 98.
Yeah.
Oh,
There you
yeah.
go.
So, yeah, I'm with you on that one.
Oh yeah.
Silence of the Lambs was in the 90s.
Puts
91, I
lotion
believe.
on its skin.
Oh, yeah.
Or it gets the
Dude,
hose
Silence of
again.
the Lambs, I'm surprised it wasn't on the list. Like, when it came to,
Yeah.
like, psychological thriller,
We,
drama kind of movies, that one topped the
Oh, yeah.
cakes.
We watched a few episodes of that Clarice show.
It's good,
That's
dude.
actually pretty good.
It's really good.
Yeah. Told you guys.
The girl that they got to play her.
Oh, she hits the nail
Oh,
on
yeah.
the head. She's
She's
good.
real-
You had some Bill Murray classics like Groundhog Day and What About
Awesome.
Bob?
Oh, the big hit. Yeah, the big hit was in the 90s. That was another good Mark Wahlberg
Oh,
movie.
jeez. Yeah,
Mark.
with oh god, with all those hitmen in there. Yeah, that was over the top.
What about Scream?
Scream is
Oh,
good.
jeez. Yeah.
Original
Scream was-
Scream.
I think that was probably like one of the biggest horror movies of all time when it first came out.
What about Saw?
Saw was good too.
Yeah. When did the first Hostel come out? Was that 90s?
That was. I feel like that was early 2000s.
Yeah, that might have been the 2000s.
Because I think
Let's
it.
find out.
Yeah, I
Hostel
think
is good. That's
I think
a
it-
fucked up movie.
I think it might have.
It's a little
because I
strange,
think you
yeah.
had like Saw, and then Saw kind of gave way to Hostel, if I
Yeah.
remember correctly.
Saw kind of opened the floodgates on that, on the really brutal kind of violence.
yeah, in horror. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What about
Excuse me.
Hostel.
Mallrats?
Hostel was
I
2005.
love Mallrats.
Oh,
Love
okay.
Mallrats.
Mallrats is good.
Those kids are still playing on the escalator.
Look,
Oh,
I
and
don't
actually, I
don't
take
wish
that
they-
back. Saw didn't come out till 2004. That's why I
Oh.
was thinking
Oh,
it was so
okay.
close.
Okay.
It was like back to back. So
I don't
not
wish-
90s, but
Right. I don't wish the kid harm, but I think his mother should have to suffer that horrific ordeal so she'll learn how to manage her child. I don't know how Jason Lee didn't go on to do more stuff. I mean, My Name Was Earl was awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jason Lee is funny.
He's hilarious.
He's great.
Well, he did all those Chipmunk movies.
That's true. That's true.
So,
I mean,
you know,
for an ex-skateboarder, I
There's-
mean, he did pretty good for
Yeah,
himself, I
that-
guess.
He is a really
Uh,
good skateboarder.
Yeah.
he did that, what was that? Stealing Harvard movie.
Oh,
Yeah.
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 That was decent.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
I want to be Kyle.
See, we had Goodwill Hunting.
Oh, yeah.
oh yeah.
How do you like them apples?
Solid drama.
You know, a
I don't know.
sleeper movie.
It was good, but I couldn't. I just even now, like I watched it once. It was all right, but
Yeah.
I just didn't really feel Goodwill Hunting. Like
Yeah.
I didn't
Yeah,
connect
I-
with it. I was like,
For some
whatever.
reason, they're not really related other than Robin Williams, but anytime anyone mentions Goodwill Hunting, I always think I would rather watch Dead Poets Society. I
Yeah,
don't know
right.
why I associate
yeah.
the two, but I'm
Right.
like, I would much rather watch Dead Poets.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Blair Witch Project in the late
Oh,
90s.
remember that
Yes.
phenomenon with the found footage type
That was
thing?
before you figured out what it really was. That movie was actually pretty creepy.
Yeah.
It was.
That's
They
good.
did
Well, with the way they shot it was revolutionary
Yes,
too, and you
it
just
was.
can't do that anymore. But
and they did a great job with marketing
yes,
on that movie because they didn't tell you that it was not real
right,
until
played it
after
up
the
like-
movie came out.
right.
Mm-hmm. Wasn't there a big old thing about it? Like people were up in arms, like news channels were covering it.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, they were
what
trying
the
to figure
fuck
out
is
whether it was real or not too, because
Yeah.
they just wouldn't tell you.
They even ran I specifically remember them doing like a special before the movie came out, like a week before it came out, of extra footage leading up to them going into
Yep.
the woods,
Yeah.
right? To make
Right.
it seem even more.
Right, and they
Legit.
used actors like no-name actors, like
Yeah, all
never
fresh
really
faces.
done anything
Yeah,
kind of
Right.
stuff, and,
And
then
there's
they
a
kept
reason
them
why
on
they did that.
lockdown.
Yeah.
They kind of sequestered off in the middle of nowhere.
They
kind of
wanted
thing,
people
too,
to think that it was like a real documentary movie, like a docudrama.
How they did that was freaking awesome.
Oh,
you
yeah,
know?
great. They did a really good job on
Yeah,
that.
shit, you had Fight Club.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Fight
Fight Club was cool.
Late
Fight
90s.
Club.
Talk
Also
about
a good book.
talk about a twist.
Right.
Twist.
What about The Matrix?
Yes.
Matrix
Is good.
The Matrix.
All the special effects in that were pretty
Oh, it
revolutionary.
was
I just showed Mom Matrix. She had never seen it before.
Oh, really?
Before it came out here.
And
we
then-
watched Matrix.
And just the plot line is crazy.
A little mind bending
Like,
there for
oh,
you.
yeah.
That was so well thought out and then put into production, you know,
Mhm.
so well executed.
Yeah.
Crazy.
The
The
I
90s.
like 4 Rooms. You ever see that?
Four Rooms is good.
Oh, yeah. 4 Rooms is good.
Kind
With
of
the different directors per room.
Wasn't
Yeah.
Madonna in that movie?
Madonna was in that
Yeah.
movie.
She was.
But each director had a different room all tied together in
Who
the
was it?
hotel.
Who was it? Tarantino, Rodriguez. Who are the other two?
Fuck,
Oh, there
I
were some big
totally
ones in
forget.
there, man. They were all pretty big producers, if I remember right.
Yeah.
Tim Roth was the bellhop that kind of
He was the constant.
tied everything together, and the
Right.
poor dude just getting wrecked the whole way. And it just
Stumble into some
Oh,
weird
man.
fucking
So-
situations.
You had Quentin Tarantino, Robert Rodriguez, Alexander Rockwell, and Allison Anders.
Right.
yeah.
I mean,
That's a good one.
if you have Tarantino behind the camera, of course Tim Roth is in there, right?
Well, chances
Well, you
are.
have to,
yeah,
right?
That's,
Right.
yeah.
But it starred what? Jennifer Beals, Madonna, Antonio Banderas. You know, it's just all kinds of people came out for this movie just
Yeah.
for their one little part, and then they,
Right.
you know, they did their thing. Then they're once you left the room, then
Yeah, that was
Right.
It
That was
had
it
one
for
of
them.
it,
But
it had
it was
one of the
great.
greatest casts.
yeah.
Of,
It's so good.
yeah.
And you know how it's good. Rotten Tomatoes gives it 13%. So,
Oh, that means
Four
it's a good
rooms?
movie.
so you know that you're going to enjoy it because
Whatever.
you always enjoy.
fucking Rotten
Don't
Tomatoes.
act like you're shocked there, Chooch.
Oh, come on. It's just I don't
Rotten
know.
Tomatoes is garbage.
It is garbage.
They
So,
don't appreciate the good
You know
shit.
what's funny
They
is
don't.
Right.
on
They don't.
whenever I'm looking at movies like on the TV, I will not pay any attention to the Rotten Tomatoes. I always pay attention to the audience popcorn.
Yeah.
And
That's
and
the only
even
stat
then-
where
even then, sometimes I'm like, okay, you guys didn't like it, but that doesn't mean I'm not going to appreciate it.
yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But usually, like, if Rotten Tomatoes is at like 20% and then like the fan base is at like 80, I'm like, that's going to be a great movie.
Mhm.
Watch
Right.
that.
Yeah, just
That's how you know.
movie critics are the worst.
Yeah.
Honestly, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know what they're looking for, but it's not what anybody
Hey,
else wants.
so movie critics, I'm gonna throw out a little recommendation for everybody, even you guys. Half in the Bag on YouTube is the best movie review show out there. So it's these
Half in
two
the
guys, half in the bag. The premise is that they work at a VCR repair shop. It's just these two guys, and they don't have any business or anything. So instead, they watch movies and talk about movies. But they're always drinking. They're fucking hilarious. They usually come up with some sort of skit or shtick or something. If you want good, entertaining movie reviews, go look.
But
up
they're
Half in the
actual
Bag.
reviews of actual movies.
Yes, yeah, they'll go to the theater. They'll review like 1 to 2 movies per episode,
Gotcha.
depending on how much there is to talk about.
Well, they're probably seeing it from the eyes of a normal person. Like, they're not looking
More
at
normal?
it through like collegiate, like,
Well, they are film buffs. Like they make their own films and stuff, so they do get into the real technical stuff. Like they'll break down the script and all that and stuff. But then there's real surface level kind of jokes, and it's good. I don't want to spend too much time on it, but Half in the Bag.
Half in the bag.
half in the bag. We've actually kind of talked about doing a little something kind of mystery science
It's theater,
theater
3000-ish,
kind of
yeah.
thing,
That'd be
you know?
cool. That'd be cool.
That's
yeah, where
90s.
we'll just right, where we just kind of sit there and watch a movie and trash it. Really,
Trash it.
Yeah,
And everybody
not
watches along with
review
us.
it. Yeah, just
That'd be a cool thing to do live.
commentate,
Just
joke
yell at
around,
it.
yeah,
narrate.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Then all you can watch along and
Yeah.
let us know. You know, call
Yeah,
out your
if
own
that's
comments and
if
shit.
that's something you want to see,
Yeah.
let us
Yeah.
know.
Yeah, yeah. I
yeah.
think that'd be super fun.
That'd be a lot.
That
of
would
fun.
be fun.
yeah.
Watching a horror movie. Just turn on the goddamn lights.
All right,
Go out the
Fucking
front
leave.
door and get in your car and leave.
right.
Why are you splitting up?
Who cares what's downstairs?
If you know there's someone in the house, why are you constantly not looking behind you, or not constantly looking behind you?
Yes.
Yeah.
Why would you let anybody sneak up behind you right now?
Right.
Yeah, that kind
Yeah.
of shit.
All the constants in horror movies.
Right.
Anyhow, All right. Well, that was a pretty good episode, man.
Real quick, what was your favorite music in the 90s?
Oh man,
I'm not talking bands or stuff like that.
Just genre.
What'd you listen to the most?
Third wave ska.
I'm a big fan of third wave ska.
I listen to a lot of it.
Yeah, there's actually a great documentary out there. What's it on? Is it on? I think it's on Amazon. Might be on Prime.
I'll check for you.
I think it's called fuck. Now I can't even remember the name of it.
Ska documentary.
It's like
Pick It Up.
Let's Pick It Up.
Yeah,
that's it. Pick It Up. Ska in the 90s is the name of it.
It is on Amazon Prime.
Amazon Prime. Yep. So if you like ska music at all, that documentary is definitely worth checking out. It's
all right.
It's cool as hell. It's got a lot of. It was made in like 2019, I think.
Yeah, 2019.
But you got a lot of members of those bands like Goldfinger and Real Big Fish, Streetlight Manifesto. Those kind of bands. Members of that band today,
right?
Talking about the surge that they had back in the 90s.
That's
stuff
cool.
they were doing.
I'll watch that.
I'll
sure.
check that out.
It's got a lot of great music in it.
Yeah, all the music was fun and great. So I listened to a lot of that back then.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think if any genre needs to make a comeback right now, it's ska music. Because it's just fun.
It's underappreciated.
It just puts you in a good mood. It's fun. You can dance around, do a little skanking to it if you want.
Yeah. One of the best shows you'll ever go to is a ska show.
Yeah.
Who can't use a little skanking in their life?
Right. Right. Yeah. Fuck. Third wave ska. Yeah. That's the shit.
That's good shit.
If you don't know what skanking is, look it up.
Yeah.
Right.
It's fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. The whole
that was not my genre.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I'll listen to it now, but that was not my genre in the 90s.
You were more of a 90s R&B guy.
R&B and hip hop, yep.
Yeah.
So
I mean, I listened to a lot of rap. I've always listened to a lot of rap since I was like 10 years old.
Yeah.
But yeah, ska was just that, and the
I didn't even know what ska was back then, to be honest.
Pop punk scene.
It turned into pop punk.
Apparently, that's starting to make a little bit of a comeback now.
Oh,
we'll see how that goes.
There's a whole Sirius radio station dedicated to it, and it's great. It's one of the better radio stations.
It's all new stuff.
Not all new stuff. They will play some new stuff, but they'll play a lot of nostalgic pop punk kind of stuff. It's called Pop Rocks. Old popular songs that have just gone down in history as some of the best. Right. It's good shit.
Yeah, I mean, it's all just, it's fun. It's not like that shit that's out now. I mean, I never thought I'd be the old guy that's like, that shit sucks. But I mean, I appreciate good music
Bring
when I
back
hear it.
the old shit.
Right, but it's just...
But I think that
rap is terrible right now.
Oh yeah, I don't think it matters the genre right now. I can't find a lot of new artists that I actually appreciate. Like you might maybe one or two songs, but there's not many artists that I can just appreciate straight across the board. Except for I will give an exception to this, like power metal. Like there's a ton of bands out there that I'm finding that are newer,
killing it.
That just came around in the last like 2-3 years. And I appreciate those bands a lot.
Power metal is probably what I listen to the most right now.
Yeah, me too. I mean, right now, that era, that genre.
Yeah, I mean, I think the problem with music nowadays is that a lot of these so-called artists got popular because of YouTube or SoundCloud kind of shit. They're not real artists, right?
It's more about just putting the product out there rather than writing because you want to write.
Right.
Kind of thing. There's a little too much of that.
Right.
Yeah, I think they're trying to focus themselves into a specific category, or they just have this huge following, and so they don't really think. They don't tell stories anymore. Like, storytelling is gone. So
no, and rap is the worst now. All they do is talk about how depressed they are and the drugs they do. That's it.
Seems like it, and all the money they make.
That's all they do. Yeah, it's terrible.
I wouldn't know.
I only know because they play it at work. I'm forced to listen to it.
Right. Yada, 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 yada.
Shut the fuck up.
All right. Well, anyway, it's a good time to end this segment or this episode too.
I'm sure we'll revisit the 90s again in the future.
There's a lot to go over.
I mean, we didn't talk about a bunch of stuff. I mean, we really only talked about video games and movies. So there's TV shows, and I mean, we really didn't talk music at all. There's all kinds of stuff for us to cover. Fashion. We talked a little bit.
A little
about
bit of
it,
fashion, I guess.
but nothing too big.
No.
So yeah, there's all kinds of stuff we can get into on the 90s.
Overall, I think it was a pretty good episode. So
It was.
Agreed.
Thanks for joining us again, and we'll look forward to seeing you
Who's
in
the
the
beers
next
on next?
episode.
What do we got?
I believe they're on me next time.
All
Yeah,
right.
beers
Very
on Shigs.
So it's
Shigs
gonna be
next
a
time.
so it's gonna be a Kona.
Maybe.
It's not out of the question.
Maybe. Nothing wrong with that. All right.
Yep. Next
Thanks,
time,
everyone.
beers are on me.
Later, y'all.
Peace
Later.
out.